And welcome to Island Moon Live on YouTube. We're getting everything ready for the show. Make sure we're all connected and active and running. And
no, I hear you. Oh, there's our guest, Frank. Do you mind? She jumps in.
okay. Let's see here.
Talking about the Texas surfer girl, chasing waves and shooting a crow. She looks pretty good in a designer bikini, and underneath it all, she's a true Wahine.
All right.
Billy,
Texas surfer girl.
Yeah.
you did that on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. This is from an older album too.
In August 2017, she faced the swell of a local hurricane. Took the falls like you've never seen. Left a rash where there was a bikini.
Yeah, I had a pretty cool song about this. Like, it was the album cover is a painting that someone did, and he was writing a song about a board that this girl had, and a whole story about, with like Hurricane Harvey and all this other stuff in there. It was kind of cool.
On the day that she was shaved,
Coming up next week or the week after.
How many years is this now?
05.
Okay, wow.
21 years.
Too
And
many words to put into this
Yeah, I got
that
all,
11
11 years. Pull out all of my New Orleans photos. I've got mileage out of those things.
Talking about
Got a little breeze coming through today.
Yeah.
Yes, we will talk about the breeze.
We don't have the Sahara dust anymore, do we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's bad.
I'm Dale. Hey, Carly, good to meet
Hey,
you.
Jacob. Everybody calls me Oggs. And there's
Yes.
headphones right here. And the camera's right there. I know you're kind of new to this.
Yes.
Well, we didn't get rain here. It rained up
that
the street.
Texas draw.
Yeah.
It rained it.
And it's going to be
Border rounds are strong. Border rounds are strong.
right.
Talking about that Texas surfer girl. Texas surfer girl.
Okay, and they're side address mics, so just talk right into the logo. You can kind of swing it out and over however you need.
Border rounds are strong.
Green screen.
Yeah.
She did ask for a green screen. And I was like, well, it might be kind of.
If you don't bring your own, one will be provided for you.
That's right.
We could probably
All right.
paint that, green next time.
Yeah. So we're live on YouTube right now.
Okay.
So we've got our the YouTube at Island Moon Live is going on, and we've got we got 4 minutes till we're live on the radio, and you'll hear it'll cue in on the headphones.
Okay.
So we're both on 98.7 and
Uh,
AM, or FM at
yeah.
1440 AM.
It's not like she's doing an overnight thing with the live feed about hurricanes and tornadoes.
Yeah.
No, this is,
No kidding.
All right. Well, we can go ahead and get the live stream going, and then we'll just jump into the radio once all that goes. We can cut that. All right. Tyler.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How's beach driving? Have you heard anything?
yes.
He can tell you he was down there. It's horrible. At high tide, it's horrible. It's powdery because we haven't had any rain. And the cold water upwelling all the way down to about the 55. But after that, there's some good fishing. I mean, nobody caught
Yeah.
any pompano whatsoever.
No, there has been some pompano caught. But as far as beach
We're
driving on the north end, Jacob, if you guys are headed down from the I-35 corridor, beach driving is fine around the maintenance areas, South Bob and North Pack, all of that. But if you're headed south out of Access Road 6, south of Bob Hall, be ready to put it in 4-wheel drive, especially this weekend because there's going to be a lot of traffic down there
And getting around shark camps.
and getting around.
They were
shark
parked in the
camps.
middle of the road.
Exactly. So once you get out a little bit past Beach Access Road 6 down to the North Sticks, it's kind of okay. But then once you get south of the 6 on the Padre Island National Seashore, 4-wheel drive and slogging. So
4-wheel drive and slogging.
there's not.
I mean, really, like powdery,
it's-
sugary
it's
sand.
slow.
It's
What about-
as bad as it gets.
What about fishing? Where if people are coming down for the weekend, where they need to go, where they should they look for fish?
Well, they're big catching redfish off of Packery jetties. That run started already, but Bob Hall Pier is closed right now.
No, they'll be closed on Friday
Closed
from
on
5
Friday.
a.m. to 5 p.m., but they're pouring the walls of the restaurant. So it's that, what do you call that, Jay, that where they have the foam?
The tilt wall construction.
CFO, or is that
See-
doing
no, it's that
I
one.
see
It's,
it,
it's
yeah.
that one. So one
It's
is,
the styrofoam blocks they run full of.
Yeah.
When the big one hits and we're all living in tents, those buildings will still be there.
yeah, like
Right.
I hope
the
so.
Statue of Liberty.
So
and-
that's driving and fishing. So, Carly, do you want to tell us about the weather? What's it look like this weekend?
Yeah, I think
Not
it's
the
no
green
surprise.
screen, yeah.
No
Carly
surprise.
is the weather person from KIII, we should
Yes.
say.
Yes,
Carly
yeah.
Smith.
We
joining
have
us.
Carly Smith, chief meteorologist
Yeah,
for
that's
KIII.
right. Chief
Yes.
for not quite a year yet. but
Yes, congratulations.
It's been exciting.
Good for
but
you, that's awesome.
Yeah, no surprise. It's going to be hot.
Yeah.
You ever think
It's
about
August.
you ever think about just taping a weathercast in June? It's going to be hot and
Yeah.
dry. If it rains for more than 10 minutes, run because it's a hurricane.
You know, it's funny. They give me, I think they want my time to be like 2:30.
Yeah.
They give me like 3:30. That's 3 minutes and
Right.
30 seconds, by
right.
the way. They give me 3:30
Yeah.
most of the time, and I still, even when it's hot, I still wind up going over
Right.
And my time is like 4:30. And they let me talk because they claim. I hope everyone agrees
Well,
that I have
just-
good stuff to say.
You do.
So.
You do.
Take
you go in depth about you talk about how this high pressure is going to come in there, and it's like, unfortunately, that's going to bring this up there, and it's just going to get hotter. And I was like, going, thanks, but
Yeah.
you're honest about
Well,
it.
you can always take more time from the sports guys.
Yeah. Well, until.
Not next
Tell out I'm
week.
playing you.
Yeah,
You're
starting
boy
next
today.
week.
Next
Yes.
week,
I think
it's all
the bluff
about
starts
I
sports.
today.
I remember
Yeah.
seeing the sports guys be going down the hallway toward the
right.
studio.
News Talk KUIS weather update is brought to you by MIC Sports Network.
Today, expect very warm conditions with plenty of sunshine and a few clouds. It will get windy in the afternoon with a high of 98. Tonight, the evening will be breezy, and otherwise, it will be partly cloudy and humid with a low of 78. Tomorrow will remain very warm with sun and some clouds, becoming breezy in the afternoon, reaching a high of 99. Saturday will have hazy sunshine, staying very. With a high of 99 with your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Welcome aboard. This is Island Moon Live. We are here from our Docks Waterline studio. It's a beautiful Island Moon Thursday. Dale Rankin, we've got a special guest, Chief Meteorologist Carly Smith from Channel 3 is here. We've got Jay, the Pompano Master Gardner, and Tyler, the Pirate of Picanha.
There you go.
Thorson joining us.
Hate him.
Yes.
Right. Good
There's
deal.
a lot to get to. I'm going to finish balancing out some of these mics and make sure everything's all good. So
Right. So.
So it's where the wind. We've been sitting since we've been sitting here. I've been paying attention to the weather. The wind has shifted straight from the south, now all the way around to the southeast in the last 5
Yeah,
minutes.
that's typical this time of year.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I don't watch the flags
Yeah.
enough.
And overnight it shifts very southerly, and if we're lucky, it's maybe it's mostly south and maybe a tiny bit southwest, and that
Right.
allows us to actually get cooler
Yes.
overnight. Which Monday Corpus Christi got down to 71, which was
It
crazy.
was downright balmy.
So
Yeah.
that's
I got my Uggs out.
that southwest wind is actually marks the what I call the epicenter or the switching over from summer, right? The crescendo of summer.
Yeah.
The thing is, it brings that wind off the south of the Wild Horse Desert, right?
Yeah, in the daytime it's bad. Yeah.
But it brings a whole new train of dust off
Yeah.
the desert that really gets your allergies going. So
Yeah.
you mix the wildfires from the Yucatan, the Saharan dust, and then the dust off the Wild Horse Desert. It's like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh! you
I'm
just want a
feeling
main
it today.
line.
I don't know what got in my eye, but I
Do we
hope
still
it's
have the
dust.
Saharan dust? Is it
Yeah.
still coming in?
Yeah, so there's a little weak plume that's overhead pretty much right now, and a little bit into Saturday. It clears out over the weekend, but there is still some dust out there, which is a big reason why the tropics have been pretty. I don't like saying this word, so I'm going to knock on wood.
Right.
But it's been pretty quiet. Also, that's typical during El Nino, which is a big talking point. This whole summer is, we're headed into a super El Nino, which just means the Pacific is going to be much warmer, a lot warmer
Right.
than normal.
So, I have a question. So, we have a hurricane this year over Hawaii.
Yeah, crazy.
I thought if they were in the Pacific, they're supposed to be typhoons.
So, I don't know the exact line where
It's
it
spinning
crosses over.
counterclockwise. Is that unusual in the Pacific?
And it's called Lala.
No,
Right.
it's
La, la, la.
northern hemisphere is all counterclockwise
okay,
lows.
all right.
Southern hemisphere would be your
I got
clockwise
you.
Right.
lows.
Yeah, it's like the when
Shows
you
what
flush
I
the
know.
toilet south of the equator.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, but yeah. So I wish I knew this number off the top of my head because I did just look at it. But Hawaii hasn't had a direct impact in a long time.
The Big Island too.
Yeah, and the center of the eye did not cross over the Big Island, but the eye wall was there, which is
Yeah.
huge, and
Well,
that
how-
was the worst
What
part
was
of
it?
the
What
eye
was
wall.
the category on it? How big?
I think it was Cat 1 when it made landfall. Yesterday evening, I haven't checked this morning.
It was
Yeah.
a big wahine.
Yesterday evening, it got up to Cat 3, though, but it's west of Hawaii now.
Yeah.
But they do become typhoon. It's just different sections of the world call them different things. It's not really like
Same
a
thing.
hurricane is different than a typhoon. They're the same thing.
Well, the thing that devastates a lot of it the most is the infrastructure and then the vegetation that's not built for wind speeds like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously a Cat 5 is going to rip everything up, but a Cat 1 in a place with normally light
Yeah.
trade winds is about the max that they would get over there. That could do some definite damage. Also, I mean, they're used to a lot of rain and they've got decent drainage, but if you get saturated ground and
Yeah.
high wind, you see those uprooting trees, and that gets bad.
and
fast.
mudslides.
Yeah, mudslides.
And that's not just a
mudslides
drink at
put
the
out
bar.
the wildfires.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
right.
the mudslide fed.
Well, so Carly, how did you end up at KAAA? How'd you start doing weather?
It's been a crazy path that
Yeah.
really started in Lubbock, Texas.
Really?
Yeah, I went to Texas Tech University
Red Raiders.
with Wreckham. I'm excited for this football season.
Tortilla throwers.
Yes. Anyway,
You ever throw tortillas?
I did. I did
Okay,
throw
great.
tortillas.
That's awesome.
Back when it wasn't allowed.
Right.
And then last year they allowed it, and that's when it got out of hand.
Have you ever hit anybody with one? I always wondered. Will you toast them a little bit so they fly?
I didn't. I did. I was on the Pom Squad my senior year, so that's
Yeah.
the dance team at Texas
they
Tech.
were throwing them at
and
you.
I got them thrown at me. Yeah, not really at me, but we're on the
That's
field.
Were
It's
they
a sign
were
of
there any
affection
Jesus
from-
pictures on them that you saw?
No, there was a UT game back when we still played UT. Somebody had like carved out of the tortilla a horns down logo. That was cool.
Wait.
You might have been holding it
It takes
upside down.
dedication.
Yeah. I don't know how they did that, but it was awesome.
But you went to the Mississippi State school, did you not?
I did for my meteorology degree. So
Yeah.
I went to Lubbock not knowing what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to enjoy college football,
Yeah.
and I knew I wanted to try to be on the Palm squad there. And
Yeah.
so I finally made it my senior year, and that was awesome. But I went to Lubbock not knowing what I wanted to do full time for a career, and that was a huge blessing because Lubbock's out in the middle of the nowhere, and it gives you
Yeah.
the opportunity to figure out who you are and
Sure.
what you want to be. And the weather out there is crazy. Like, it's so flat. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like here, but it's a different, it's drier out there. So the clouds are a little higher. And your visibility, as long as there's not a dust storm, is very clear out
They
there.
say if you can see 50 miles in every direction, but if you stand
Yeah.
on a tuna fish can, you can see 100 miles.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people started broadcast careers. Scott Pelley started in Lubbock. His
Yeah.
first job was in Lubbock.
Yeah, he was a Red Raider, I believe. Also, I don't know if he finished.
station did you
his
work out there?
degree, thinking about that, but he has definitely.
Which
has a
station
degree
did you
from
work
tech.
for? CBS is the big one out there for years.
I was at KCBD 11, which I think was the NBC station, and they were the #1 local station at the
Yeah.
time. They have the longest. It might be the longest in the country. Like team of anchors and
Really?
the chief meteorologist. Maybe the sports guy too, but he came a little later. The two anchors and the chief have been there like 30, 40 years. They just had a big celebration.
So did you start doing broadcasting in college?
I did, yeah. So, well, technically high school. I was on my high school broadcast
Okay.
class, I guess we'll call it. I was like team, I don't know.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I was mostly behind the scenes then. And then I went to tech, and I did journalism in high school, obviously, but I also was really good at math and science. I took pre-cal and AB cal in high school, and then I gave up math to think I was going to do news or PR
Right.
in college, and I missed it.
Yeah.
So weather and meteorology allowed
Kinda
me to
combines the
combine
two.
both passions.
Well, if they find out you can do math and TV, they turn you into a producer because you can back time a show.
yeah, that
Don't-
is
don't let 'em-
hard. Yeah,
Never let
Yeah.
them know you can produce a show because that's what they'll make you
I'll
do.
let you know the calculus is a whole different level of math than that.
So you started in Lubbock, and then where'd you go from there?
So then I went to, when I graduated in Lubbock, I had a degree in electronic media and a minor in atmospheric sciences. So then that's how I wound up getting my meteorology degree from Mississippi State. Was I did that mostly online.
Right.
So I never went to Mississippi State. It would have been a fun time to be there at the time. Dak Prescott was there. Also, by the way, I'm getting sidetracked, but with football, Patrick Mahomes was at Texas Tech while I was there also.
Okay.
So
the golden era.
If you're
Yeah.
worried about squirrels, you
Yeah.
do know this is the Island and Live
This is the
show,
squirrel
right?
cage. Yes, exactly. I told you it was going to be squirrel cage.
Yeah, I'm very much like a dog distracted by squirrels.
well, that's
funny.
pretty. That's a pretty common path in broadcast. You start in a market that size,
Yeah.
and then Corpus is kind of next, and then maybe
Yeah.
San Antonio.
I
or
actually
Houston.
traveled to Grand Junction, Colorado first,
Wow.
and loved living there.
What
But
market is that? About 130.
it's like 186.
What are we here now in Corpus about? We're probably about 130, aren't we?
Yeah, that sounds right. I haven't really looked that up in a while. And,
We're in that neighborhood.
Broadcast news is changing and evolving, where market size still matters a little bit, but I don't know.
The world is
The-
is everybody's
yeah.
out there now.
Yeah, and
So how did you get from Lubbock to Corpus?
So I did Lubbock, Grand Junction, Colorado. You get paid dirt at your first broadcast
As opposed
job.
to the wealth that you get
Yeah,
here. In the,
which is not much. Yeah, I wish I could say it was more, but no, you get paid literal dirt. That's why I went to Grand Junction, basically. No.
right. you get paid gold dust there.
Yeah, no, the dirt. I mean, Grand Junction hiking is amazing. Biking is amazing. Fishing, I'm
They
not.
run tours into the Grand Canyon. A friend that was a guide there.
Yeah.
They go in the Grand Canyon in the winter, and they go skiing in the winter. and
Yeah.
it's a good spot for
And
outdoors.
the Black Gunnison, or the Canyon,
Yeah.
Black Canyon
Yeah,
of the
Black
Gunnison.
Canyon of the Gunnison, yeah.
It's so pretty. That's where I learned to fly fish there. I'm not a fisherman, but I have that. That's a core memory. That was awesome because
Sure.
it was so beautiful. And but then from there, I decided I wanted to be a little closer to home, which is the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I wanted to chase tornadoes. So I went to Wichita Falls, Texas, to do
Right.
that.
Well, that's
a good place,
tornado.
yes.
Yeah. And
Chase them all the
then-
way to Missouri from there.
And then from there, I wound up in Dayton, Ohio. That was a weird one. I had a reporter friend that
No comment.
also went up to Dayton, Ohio at the same time. We both had a job at an interview at two different stations, and we were like, "Should we do this?" And we were like, "Okay, yeah." Turns out, I loved living
Yeah.
in Dayton. It's where the Wright brothers were born, and where they came up with the idea of flight is their
They still
Bike-
have a
bike shop.
Bicycle
yeah,
shop.
their
yeah.
bicycle shop
Yeah.
was there. You could go see it.
Oh, yeah.
They have a national park of that, so it's a really cool place. A lot of innovation started there. I think like a cash register. I think might
Oh,
have
really?
been invented there. I don't know if it's the first one or a certain brand, but yeah,
Well,
they
you,
have.
get, you don't get tornadoes in Dayton, right?
Turns out you do.
Oh, yeah?
The biggest tornado outbreak I ever had to cover was up in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
There was Memorial Day of 2019. There were 15 tornadoes in the area I was covering. One went through Dayton, Ohio as an EF4, which
Wow.
is 4 out of 5.
So do
the
you go
worst.
live for like 5 hours in a row?
Yeah, I started going live I don't remember the exact time. It was kind of late at night
Yeah.
when the tornadoes went through Dayton. So probably shortly after like our 6 o'clock news, they were in Indiana. We have one Indiana county out there. And I started covering it. It was a holiday, so the chief wasn't in. He had to come in. And then we were on TV, till after midnight, maybe like 1, 2 a.m. And then I woke up the next morning and was live where there was damage.
You're down to reading your grocery list on the air, right?
Yeah.
All right, we've got Carly Smith, chief meteorologist for Channel 3, joining us. When we get back, we're shifting from tornadoes to hurricanes and what's going on in our neck of the woods. Hold fast.
Well, hurricanes are just big.
How to play this old guitar and sing the blues. Life is coming at you big and fast, harder than you think.
Favorite News Talk KYS
Yeah,
program
Todd.
and
We'll try to get to
podcast.
that.
Here's the news, weather, and traffic information in real time. Text us and even leave a voice message. Our
who's the news
smartphone
director
app
of Channel
has
3
it all.
now?
Modern
Jonathan
and
Benson.
upstate.
Available now.
Yeah, he's worked at Channel 3 for a long time. He's from Corpus. Oh,
Like 3 years. Just kidding.
Yeah, I do. I know him. Yes, I do.
Right.
He did. He was like a web producer for a long time, and then he became the assistant news director since I've been there. And then when our news director left, Wes Wilson, Jonathan took over.
Okay. I was there in 2000.
Did you work with Leslie in Lubbock at all?
I did not.
She was
no.
different station, right?
I mostly just interned in Lubbock, and then I filmed football. That was my first into the industry, was filming football, Friday night football games. And then they didn't want to hire me for their weekend meteorology job, actually. So that's when I left to go to Grand Junction. And then Leslie got there like right after that. Yeah, probably like a month later, actually.
Well, you see, I guess it seems like now a lot of when the people move, the on-air people, they move inside the chain. They
Yeah.
stay in Tegna or Scripps.
I
or-
didn't do that. I've moved all companies.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't ever have. I got out of that business in '05, and they frown moving it. Like if I was in San Antonio and they had a station in Houston,
Yeah.
and there's no way they're going to hire me in Houston because the guy in San Antonio. So if I went to Houston, I had to switch companies.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of flipped on its head. It's the other way
Yeah.
around.
Right. Gotcha.
All right.
Almost back on?
Yep.
Okay, so we
Close.
got to cover. Yeah, how long are you here for? Get you a segment or two?
I can be
We're
here
doing 10-minute segments.
as long
11.
as I gotta be at work at 2 p.m.
Oh,
Okay.
you got to go to the beach then.
But
Right.
I would like to go to the beach before then.
Absolutely. So, yes, we've got to talk about running, surfing, and that graphic that you did on the lake levels the other day. That was actually some really good, in-depth, above-the-board. Like,
Was it AI?
No,
No.
it wasn't AI, exactly. She was comparing the floods after the drought in 09 and 010 that got us back up, and then this drought and floods, and how there's much of a difference. And I could actually read through your eyes. You were like, this isn't going to last quite as long. It's going to dry up, evaporate. It's going to go away. So, yeah, no, that was good.
Here we go.
This is Island Moon Live on News Talk KUIS.
You went over on that one, but I was like,
And welcome aboard. This is Island Moon Live. We are at our Docks Waterline studio. It's a beautiful Island Moon Thursday. For those of you who aren't familiar with our show, we talk about everything going on in
Sometimes all at once.
Padre Island, Corpus Christi, Flower Bluff, and the Coastal Bend.
Definitely all at once.
Exactly, and everything all at once. Dale Rankin, editor publisher of the Island Moon. We've got Tyler, the pirate of Picanha Thorson, Jay, the snook whisperer Gardner. My name is Jacob Boggs, and our special guest today is Carly Smith, chief meteorologist.
We have Todd Hunter standing by. We're going to talk about State Highway 361 here at the top of the hour.
Yes, there's
All kinds of good stuff.
But before we get to the how did you get to Corpus? We didn't make it that far. We left you in Grand Junction.
I was
Daytona.
Dayton. You made it to Dayton.
That's right.
Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton,
Yes.
Ohio. So I was chasing tornadoes, and then the pandemic happened while I was in Dayton, and that was really hard to be that far away from family.
Yeah.
So as soon as that happened, I started looking back at jobs closer to Texas. I looked at jobs in Oklahoma, Austin, and then the Corpus job opened up, and it was a morning position, and which meant I was going to be weekdays, which I've been weekends everywhere else that I was working, and the pay was comparable to other larger cities, actually. So I said, all right, I want to be at the beach. Corpus Christi has always been my favorite Texas beach.
All right.
To live, especially.
Good.
You know, South Padre gets a lot of hype, but it's not convenient to live down there.
No.
And no, Galveston is not
Too muddy.
the place for me. I'll leave it there.
I grew up in Houston, and Galveston has really changed so much. That entire area is just completely different. But that's the other thing is, you know, being on the Texas coast, we're all occasionally subjected to storms.
Yeah.
So your weather report right now, it's almost like copy paste every day, unless something happens in the Gulf,
Yeah.
and then it's your fault, and everybody's glued to it, right?
Yes, yeah. It really does fluctuate like that, you know.
So we're coming into the ENSO, right? The El Nino Southern Oscillation.
Yes.
Are we increasing? Are we going into El Nino,
We're
or is
in a
this it?
strengthening El Nino. It's supposed to strengthen into winter. So late fall, early winter is when it's supposed to kind of peak. And what that means is the temperatures in the Pacific are at their warmest. And
Okay.
that's this very specific part of the Pacific. That's the equator area of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Will El
And
Nino
so-
last through next summer, next hurricane season?
I'm not sure if it's going to last all the way that long. I know they're expecting it to last through at least the spring. But with it being this strong, it could last
So isn't it
hurricane
like
season.
is it a multi-year pattern that waves on and off, or is it just, hey, we're
It's
got El
usually-
Nino?
It kind of fluctuates. Usually it's a fairly yearly pattern, I would say.
Okay.
Because last year we were neutral, and so
Right.
we like to
It
call
was
that.
swinging.
Yeah.
So would you?
lot-
Did we get a solid freeze last year, or was it just kind of
No,
close?
we got another. Yeah,
We
no,
got
it's
down to
it's-
freezing.
Yeah, it's frozen the past 6
I don't
years
know
in a
if
row,
the
and I blame
island-
you for that.
Did
No,
the
just
island
kidding.
get down to freezing last
It
year?
did.
We
I
did.
know
We
I
were
wrapped.
close,
I
if
lived on the
that.
island last year, and
I
I
never
did
brought
wrap
in my
my
brass
pipes.
monkeys.
But I don't
Right.
remember the exact
So-
temperature.
oh,
But I
geez.
remember we were flirting with freezing. We had a risk of some freezing rain. There was a teeny tiny bit, like off in the Aransas Pass area. There were
Right.
some signs that
So
had freezing rain.
the El Nino, we also, I don't know how far offshore you go, but we also notice the El Nino patterns will weaken the loop current out in the Gulf. Do you pay attention to that?
I don't, but I would like to.
Okay, so the El Nino,
Because the loop current plays a big role in like rapid intensification. Also.
absolutely,
Yeah.
the seawater temperatures
Yep.
and all that, and also has to do a lot with the sargassum
And fishing.
and fishing. Right, that
And cold
That's
water up.
boils down to,
fishing
yeah.
is how they discovered El Nino. Is off the coast of South America. The fish would be different based off
Right.
whether it was
The
El
wet-
Nino or
they
La
would
warmer
Nina.
ones.
insulate, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, cold water upwelling, which we love to talk about on this show. Do you pay attention to that?
I
It's the
do
nearshore currents.
sometimes. Yeah.
So when Hurricane Harvey came through, it was coming right at Corpus, and we had that pretty solid upwelling event, and it got close to that cold water and dove up north.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be a blessing.
So everybody
but-
dump your ice chest in the water on the beach.
Yes, exactly.
The
So,
hurricane avoidance
And turn
plan.
your fans that
Yeah.
way.
okay, so you're here now
Yeah.
in Corpus.
Yeah, and hurricanes are a big reason too. I said I
Right.
wanted to live at the beach, but I've
But your
experienced
family.
snow and I've experienced
Yeah, you can
tornadoes,
keep all
and
that.
so I was
Yeah.
ready for the coastal weather.
So you said, but your family's down here. So we also notice on social media that you run with your folks, right?
Yeah, I run with my dad. So
does he live here?
No, they were still living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but
Okay.
once I moved back to Texas, which that's still like 6 hours from here, depending on what Austin traffic you get caught in.
Right.
Right. Exactly. Even if you use 130 around, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, they were in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Then they moved back. Their home is North Louisiana, so they actually moved back
Okay.
to North Louisiana.
Right on.
But they make trips here often because they love coming to the beach.
So running with your dad, I was going to ask you: are you a pavement pounder or do you like trails? Or do
Ooh,
you like
I
both?
love trails.
Okay, trails,
But
good.
there's not a lot of trail running in Corpus.
Okay, I was going to bring that up. So I sit on the Parks and Recs Advisory Committee, and we've got a really good staff person, Sergio Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I got to give him props out there. He's working to try to connect a lot of trails
Yeah.
around so we can have
That
some
would
nice
be
big
great.
loops. The Oso Parkway, and
Yeah.
of course the Holly Trestle that's
Yeah.
going across. So
Yeah.
there's some
I know
good projects
the
going
Holly
on.
Trestle has improved since I've gotten here.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a great spot.
I think they're supposed to start construction here in a month or two. So
Yeah.
once we get that loop together, the trailhead and
That'll
across
be
Holly
cool.
Trestles, go by the Oso Wetlands Preserve. Do you run that
I,
loop?
I do. I love the Oso Wetlands Preserve, and the
Tyler spends a lot of time out there walking his dog.
Rattlesnakes.
Yes.
Rattlesnakes. I see more rattlesnakes there than I did as a kid in California. That's a lot.
I haven't seen any
Are you-
yet, and I do look. I'm not being.
Oh, you
trying-
got to have 12-year-old boy eyes. It's like, oh, look, there's one right there. But I mean, these were just
I
obvious.
have seen a tortoise out there.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was
Yes,
awesome.
Texas tortoise.
About
Yeah.
You ever see manatee?
not at the Oso.
That's over here.
No, I hope to never see a manatee.
We had
We'll talk-
we had
well,
a
no,
manatee
actually, a
sighting this
manatee
week.
I do want to see.
We
Yes.
had a manatee
That would be
sighting this
cool.
week somewhere around here. I don't know exactly where.
We'll talk with Todd about manatees later, but yes.
Yeah, we like them, but not around construction projects. They have a tendency to stall some momentum.
Yes, exactly.
We'll say.
So that's good. So pavement and trails. So
Yeah,
no, that's
and I
good.
like. I know most sidewalks are concrete, but a blacktop is way better for a runner,
Yeah.
just because it's a softer impact.
Well,
on
the
your
beach
body.
leans to one side.
Yeah.
You end up with
It
one
does.
bad knee.
it'll throw your
I
you throw your hip
do-
off. Yeah.
I do love running on the beach, though.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite spots to run.
So you haven't been here for a big hurricane yet.
No, I missed
Harvey was the last one, not
I was
Harvey.
in Wichita Falls during Harvey, and we were having our Hotter in Hell bike ride, which is where you do 100 miles in August heat.
Oh, joy.
That is Hotter Hill.
Yeah,
And there's no hill to slide down unless
Yeah.
you get on the cap rock.
And so I was covering Harvey pretty hardcore because a lot of people from Houston also come up for that bike ride. I don't know how many people from Rockport and
Well, if they
Corpus
catch,
Christi do,
the
but
wind just right, they wouldn't have to pedal. They could just get north of Katy, and next thing you know, they'd be in
well,
Lubbock.
yeah.
Well, and you made it to Corpus right at about, I guess, into the drought slide.
Yeah. The lakes pretty much have just fallen until this last month.
Yeah.
Since I've gotten here, there were a couple of little minor boosts.
Blips, yeah, here
But
and there.
yeah, I was talking about that the other day. I was like, we're back up to a level similar of when I got here. Like,
Right,
yeah.
exactly. And your graphic the other day, I don't know if we talked about this during break, but the graphic that you had the other day was really good about the drought from 09 and 10, comparing it to the
Yeah.
drought today.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad they afforded you that
so,
time. 'cause there's
10,
different.
10 into 11 was when the drought got really, really bad. I don't really want to age myself, but I was still in Dallas then.
Right on.
I don't want anyone to know how old I was. But I was still in Dallas then, and we had like record triple-digit days then.
Yeah.
Possum Kingdom, the lake up there,
Yes.
had one of its worst fires
Yeah.
back in 2011. And so 2011 was a really bad drought, and it was a statewide drought.
Yes, your graphic was crazy. It was like dark red all over the state.
Yeah, the entire state. And so
We've got Chief Meteorologist Carly Smith joining us this morning on Island Moon Live. More about climbing out of this drought when we return. Hold fast.
Exactly.
The 3-6 motors with the 830. Bath and Bale out to Rockport. Surfside to Galveston. I'm Texas Island country.
Drop.
Faster.
I mean, we didn't even get any of the rain that brought the lakes up. It was
Yeah,
all up
I
around
think-
Lakey and Concan.
yeah, that's actually something that wasn't paying the best attention to, but Hope Boland,
Yeah.
one of our other meteorologists, she posted a video yesterday about how Corpus Christi only picked up like a tenth. It was like 0.17 or something
Right.
of rain last month, and
Yeah.
then we've had no rain all August, which is crazy.
But we had a wet May. 'Cause
Yeah,
we had
May and
all,
June.
We had all this rain down here at the
Yeah.
coast, and it was like, can we pump it uphill?
Yeah, May and June were super wet, and then August or July and August we've been super dry, and all the rain was up north in
Right
July.
on cue.
And then it takes 16 days to get down from Lakey to Lake Corpus Christi, right?
Well, yeah, Lakey would be Choke Canyon because that's on the Frio.
Right, yeah. And then
But
Noise.
Down,
Uvalde would be like, yeah, it was like
Right.
60. It was over 2 weeks for
Yeah.
the rain in Uvalde to get to Lake Corpus Christi.
right, our buddy Sam Shugaric used to work at the Nueces River Authority, and
Yeah.
he was really paying attention to that. And he was like, okay, when you see it hit Tilden, then you know the rain gauge.
All the weather nerds like Kevin Kieschnick and
Yeah.
got their
I know everyone was like wanting to know how the lakes were going to respond, and I was like, it's
Don't
hard.
know. Yeah.
It's hard to figure that out because there's so many variables that go into
Well, they said
it.
we had a picture last week. One of our Kim Irwin was here, and she had a picture of Lake Corpus Christi. That water was jet black.
Yeah, I bet.
It was bringing up whatever was down there on the
Yeah,
bottom.
which when I went on my river tour with our reporter Michael Gibson, we talked to the Nueces River Authority, and then we talked to some people up in Lakey actually.
Hudson Lewis.
And they talked about how they actually like it when it floods because it cleans everything out.
right. All the
Yeah.
cups
They
and
say
everything
the
goes
Yeah.
away.
Rio
yeah.
wasn't flowing, and then about 2 months ago,
Yeah.
all of a sudden it filled up. Was muddy for a while, and then it was nice just at the end of the tourist season.
Yeah.
They said. Our rain out here tends to come either from the southwest or off the water.
Yeah.
We don't get that much coming from the north. It
Hey,
stops
unless
over
it's
there.
a cold front.
yeah.
The cold fronts will bring in. It still moves in a little bit west, like west to east, but also north to south. 'cause
Then
the
it splits
front's
over
moving
Cal
north to
Allen and
south.
misses us totally.
Yeah, right. No.
Or it comes over Corpus Christi Bay
Hey,
somewhere
and
furious.
splits and then it pounds
the coast,
Rockport. We
I
get
will
nothing.
say
yeah.
the coast does weird things.
Yeah.
And
Comes
I
from every
haven't quite
direction.
figured it out.
All right, here we go.
More news, more information. This is News Talk KEYS.
That's right, my friends. It's a party in the Gulf of Mexico. And it's a party down here at the base of the JFK Causeway. We are live at our beautiful Docks Waterline Studios on the northern end of the Laguna Madre. It's 11:33 on a beautiful Island Moon Thursday. We've got a great show coming on. There's a lot of big stuff happening with 361. We've got Todd Hunter. There's Frank Floyd running around on the board right now. We've got Tyler, the Pirate of Picanha, Thorson. I like that nickname.
Yeah, I like that.
It may stick.
And I like the alliteration, and I like me.
Using words we
Yes,
can't
exactly.
spell.
Yes, yeah. We got Jake Gardner. We've got Dale Rankin. My name is Jacob Oggs, and our special guest right now is Chief Meteorologist from Channel 3, Carly Smith. Welcome again, Carly.
Thank you.
It's great having you. Just before we jump to the break, we were talking about kind of you got here at the beginning of the slide down on the drought, and
Yeah.
now with you being so tied into all this, I know Jay, you even mentioned she had a graphic on.
There's a comparison in between the 09 and
Yeah.
11 drought and this drought and the lake levels and how fast they're going to rebound and maybe how long they stick around or don't stick around.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway that I've gotten from doing some data and research, and the part that I'm not great at researching is, the water usage part of the whole picture.
Right.
Because that's not meteorology. That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
once it's into the system, it's out of your control, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and then you'd have to bring in
Yeah.
Lake Texana and
Yeah,
Mary
it
Brooks
gets
Pipeline.
really
and
confusing.
That's right.
But
Absolutely.
when it comes to the rain that we've seen, we had a surplus of rain in between. Like Texas basically recovered from that 2011 drought, in 15 and 16, and I believe that was an El Nino year.
Okay, so 4 more years. Okay.
Yeah, so 15 and 16 is when those lakes, or pretty much every lake, recovered except ours after
Right.
the 15 and 16, which, the rain has to fall in the right spots, so it's not necessarily that our lakes didn't recover. I don't know those numbers off the top of my head. Also, getting rainfall data from our northern watershed is not easy.
So-
a lot of
Really?
those gauges are missing numbers,
Right.
and so you're basing it off of satellite data
Right.
and essentially estimations of how much rain has fallen.
Interesting.
When
So
when you're looking 3, 4, 5 days out for weather patterns here, what do you look at? You look at lows over the middle
Yeah.
of the country and highs and all that
So
stuff?
yeah, you start. Meteorologists have a top-down look of the atmosphere. So we start up at the jet stream, and we're looking for the jet stream pattern, which is like a roller coaster ride. You have your highs, which is your uphill, and your lows, which is your downhill. And so you're looking for those. And then a tricky part now, a lot of things that give us rain actually starts with the jet stream, believe it or not. And if I mess up a forecast, it's because I didn't look at the jet stream deep enough because you're so focused at the surface because that's where we live. But at the jet stream, there's something called a jet streak that you learn about in meteorology school. And the jet streak, there's rising air and sinking air in different parts of that streak. That's usually on the curve of the jet stream where the wind is intensifying. And so you're looking for where the rising air is on that streak of intensifying wind. And that's how we get a lot of our rain in the winter when the jet stream is over
Right,
us.
yeah.
Right now it's all too far north and we're just hot and under high pressure.
Right.
But you start at the top and then you go the middle levels where I'm looking for like my mid-level energy that I talk about a lot on TV. We call it upper level energy, but it's really like the middle of the atmosphere. Of the 500 millibar area is what we're looking
Okay,
at.
all right.
There would be no matter.
And so that's where the mid-level energy is, and then we get down to our low-level humidity and the winds at the low level and where clouds may start to form, and then from there we get down to the surface. And
So that's about a 4-day, 5-day run.
yeah, I do that for the 7-day, and then the 4 to 5 day, you're just more confident in it.
Right.
Yeah, 4 to 5 days out, and really 2 to 3 days is when we have high resolution data, which is great for the surface.
So that's
data.
when you can lock in a forecast.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you can weed out some of the spaghetti models,
Yeah,
right?
and it's
yes.
kind of like high resolution is like if you wear glasses, your long range models like where you don't have your glasses on, but you
Right.
can still kind of see depending on how bad your vision may be. But
Right.
for me, my vision's not that bad, so I can still see. Then I put my glasses on, and it's clear.
Right.
That's your shorter range models are clear, and that has to do with the computer and how long it takes the computer to process that data. The more clear your data is, the longer it takes to process. The more fuzzy your data is,
Yeah.
you can go further out in a shorter
Well,
amount of time.
You're also comparing this to a lot of different annual models, starting with
Mm-hmm.
the earliest of the almanacs, and now one of our a friend of the show, Dr. Philippe Tussaud, is doing a lot
I
of work
love
with
Dr.
AI.
Yes.
Tussaud.
I used to
Yeah.
work with
And they're
Philippe.
bringing
Yeah.
AI systems into predicting for kind of channels as to what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So for the people out there who want to plant a fall garden, what is the forecast saying for this fall into the winter? What are we going to look
Well,
like?
with El Nino, winter is where we tend to have a bigger impact from El Nino. El Nino in the summer or hurricane season tends to block hurricanes because we have a lot of wind shear, which it's been windier this August.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that, but
yeah.
and then so we tend to have more wind shear, which keeps the hurricanes weaker if they do form. And then additionally, it's the winter where the Pacific jet stream stays pretty active, which means we're getting moisture across the southern half of the U.S. And then that leads to more rain in the winter, which winter is usually our least rainy season.
It comes in bunches with
Yeah.
northerns, and then it stops.
Yeah.
Or it just sprinkles on us for 5,
Well, what's-
6 days.
Yeah.
What's
And
the
it's cold.
What's
I hate
the
that.
hurricane season? When we got another month. September's active around
September is the peak.
Yeah.
That's when there's the most hurricanes historically that tend to happen. I believe it's mid-September is the
Right, and so
the
what
top of
happens
it.
is the Gulf of Campeche warms up like it's doing if you're
Yeah.
watching the offshore, and that's where we get a lot of our hurricanes here. Is they just pop up and move inland.
Yeah.
They kind of dive underneath the El
there's
Nino.
a low or like a gyre that can form over Central America, more so at the beginning and the end of hurricane season, and by end not November, like
Yeah.
late September, early
October,
October.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That
we've hit-
gyre can have a spin up that pops up pretty easily there in that Bay of
Our
Campeche.
big storms have been early in the alphabet and in September.
Yeah.
Over the years, going back to the last 40 or 50 years. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen this year. We still have.
Well, we're on D's.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so
We had Celia, Beulah, Carla.
I was
and-
hoping for Paulette.
yeah,
We
right.
had a
We had
storm.
Paulette this
Which
year.
one was it? Started.
I did notice that.
Yeah.
One started in Falfurrias and came
Yeah.
north. We had one
That
that,
was
went
the A.
straight down I-10
Oh
and
yeah,
came at us.
the A storm was a weird
Yeah.
one.
That was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Whipped
the,
up over a barbecue pit in
the-
Falfurrias.
Probably butterfly wings. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the A storm went from the west to the east. The B storm went east to west, and then the C storm was barely a tropical storm out in the middle of the Atlantic. So, and it was out of the tropical Atlantic. It was pretty far north.
So I guess this time of year we look at the coast of Africa.
butterfly wings.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
starts the coast of Africa this time of year, especially end of August throughout September. That's when the storms are coming off there because, the climate difference there between the rainforest and then the Saharan desert helps create those tropical
Right.
waves that
It's
form.
like Cape
So
Verde
I-
season, isn't it?
Yeah, I was in Florida last week, and those two storms were coming off the coast,
Yeah.
and there might have been a third one. And the Florida meteorologist was like, we don't have anything to worry about. But I got back here to Texas, and your sister stations or the other stations were like, oh my goodness, you might want to start preparing. The Florida meteorologists, they didn't care. They're
Yeah.
like, don't worry about this.
Yeah, this is nothing.
This is nothing.
Man, there's
Yeah.
times in Florida where you look out across the Atlantic and there's 4 or 5 storms, just one after
Yeah.
another.
Training.
Yeah.
So it's time to head up the country.
Yeah, but yeah, there was a lot of wind shear with those storms, so I didn't think they were going to last. One of them, actually, some of the leftover energy is what may form another storm in the Pacific here shortly.
Oh, it's going to jump over.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's the energy, the storm itself basically fell apart, but that energy, if you've been in a science class, energy isn't created or destroyed, right?
Right,
So
just
it's just
moves
like
on,
here. And so that energy doesn't just disappear when the storms disappear. It's still traveling across those trade winds. And yeah, it's going to get in the Pacific. The Pacific's a better environment for storm development. That's typical during El Nino. And so we'll see what happens. But it
Right.
won't impact us. Yeah.
I got you. So, also one of the things that we've noticed that you really like down here is surfing. So,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of board are you riding these days with these waves? And
Right now, I'm still like learning to surf, if that makes sense. 3
Well,
years
we
later.
might want to talk to Frank
Me
over
too.
there.
After 30, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably time to get my first. Not first big girl board. I have my first big girl board
Go
that I
see
got that
Frank,
was
yeah.
used. It was
Sure.
a Caleb Bass board, so
Right.
it was made locally.
Good old sea bass.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I love it. It's
love
like
Caleb.
it's like a Mexican blanket design. It's very beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time out in the water. But it does make me stand out, especially when I am crashing all of the time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a beautiful board. It's 8 foot. So it's kind of that in between
Yeah.
size. / it's kind of a long board for me because I'm short. But
Right. So, what's the weekend outlook for the surfing?
it's not great.
Oh no.
Yeah,
but if you're coming down,
Yeah.
you can get a longboard from Frank Floyd.
That's
Hey,
right.
Now's the
No.
time to try and go.
Longboards are always great, and we have more waves than we typically do in August. So
Yeah.
typically it's like dead flat in August. We actually have some waves because we have some wind.
And we've got water clarity coming back.
Yeah.
The photos in your article from Rip Charts of August 2 years ago versus now
Yeah.
were pretty indicative of that.
Water is usually when we get August when we get our prettiest water.
Yeah, because it's flat.
Yeah.
Right. And as long as we get the upwelling to train out of the system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, August. I remember one time, or last year, I was flying back. I don't remember where I had gone, but I was flying back into town, and the water was so blue. It was
Yeah.
beautiful. I was just taking pictures the whole time
We've got
onto
that.
the approach.
It's almost Caribbean, but you
Yeah.
can see where those little kind of ins and outs
Yeah.
are right now. So now's the time to go study sandbars and get ready for that the big fall trout fishing. Tyler, didn't you say that reds are already starting to run at Packery? Are people
They
grabbing
are.
it, or did you
Yeah.
say that, Jake?
Yeah.
I also saw a couple of tarpon. One was a small tarpon that it's nice to catch, but one was a larger one. They're catching those on finger mullet. So if you can have finger mullet, that's hard to find
Yeah.
them right this time of year unless we have one of those washouts from the Laguna. But right now with that high pressure she's talking about, it's going to be miserably hot.
yeah.
So your best times for fishing are
Early.
like early, or late, or at night even.
Mm-hmm.
So
Give it a shot. And have we seen any? The real red usually starts. A red run starts a lot later.
when we get our first cold front.
I know. I know.
So when's that going to be?
Typically, it's in October.
Typically, it's in October. Somebody was making noise about a late August potential for a front, but anyway.
Even if we get one in late August, no.
That was last Monday when we got down to 71.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about
No,
that.
That was our
there
cold front.
was a front that kind of flirted across like central Texas, but
Yeah, gotcha.
if a front makes it this far south, it's dying this time of year.
I gotcha. Well, good
Excellent.
deal.
All right. Well, we're gonna
We're gonna get going. We're gonna thank Carly. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
it was
it
awesome.
was
I've tried to
great.
get you on for a couple of months now, and you've got to come back.
I would love to come back. There's nothing better than this view.
Yes. No, it's awesome. Thanks for joining us.
outstanding. Thanks again, everybody. Hold fast. On the Moon Live. We'll return.
Silent country. The 830 is with the 361.
Hey guys, Dave Ramsey here. Join me and the Ramsey personalities as we give you the tools and motivation you need to win in the areas of money, career, and more. Right here on the Ramsey Show. Rich people ask how much. Broke people ask how much down and how much of the career.
Thursdays are pretty good, especially this time. It's hard for me to wake up.
Rawls, Texas.
Rawls from Lubbock
Rawls.
area.
Yeah, I was in Lubbock when there were 1,500 people there.
Oh my goodness.
Dotson
that's
Lewis, you know Dotson
crazy.
Lewis, right?
They put a football team in my conference too.
There was an inland sea when he was there.
Oh no way. Yeah. The Red Raiders, they're crazy.
We might have TT and Narcadora on that one.
Yeah. I don't know.
But you're better art candy than he is anyway. No, we appreciate it. You're great. Oh, here he comes.
Yes.
Awesome. Hey, Carly. Everybody. Good to see you. Just a little bit busy.
Oh, she knows everybody. Oh, okay. No, I know. We appreciate your time.
No problem. I just want you to know. That's the steam press in the back of the dry cleaners. That's where Monica pressed shirts.
Okay, front address.
Just do this.
You got to talk into the side.
Talk to the side.
Yeah.
Good.
So you got to get your face in there too. So this is how I'm kind of leaning off on the side. But yeah. Either one. You're the man. We'll get out of your way. Good to see you. We're just gonna throw it right to you. Absolutely.
You can talk a little bit about it. We'll stay here 15-ish. I mean, we got to go up to 12:20. I'm on it. Well, I thought it was 11:30 to 12. So we're going to push.
Here we go.
Let's go to
Here
12.
first. This is Island Moon Live on News Talk KEYS.
Talking about the Texas Surfer Girl.
And welcome back to Island Moon Live on a beautiful Island Moon Thursday. We are here at our Docks Waterline Studios. There is a lot going on and a lot to get to. I know if anybody's been paying attention, you've heard about the recent wreck and recent incidents on Texas Highway 361. That's the road from North Padre up to Port Aransas. And it's garnered some statewide attention. We've got some special guests to talk about that. Dale Rankin, Jay Gardner, Tyler Thorson, Frank Floyd. My name is Jacob Boggs, and our special guest, Rep Todd Hunter, joins us this morning. What's going on?
All right, so
Sounds like you had a big day. This thing
We
is,
did.
This thing has gone to DEFCON 1, right?
well, you better believe it. They're my new TWIA.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for that, by the way.
So everybody,
Great.
yeah, no, that is good. Just as a quick, because I know Dodson's here. So we stopped the rate hike. So Potter Island, no rate hike. What we have to watch is if they do an inflation hike. That's what I got to go. But what happened this week, I want everybody to know, especially on Potter Island, because this is where we started this fight against TWIA. They filed a federal lawsuit on racketeering in Galveston against TWIA this week.
Wow.
On hurricane barrel claims.
Well, they've kept Florida underwriters out for years, so
Man.
you could make that argument.
I mean, this needs to be completely disclosed to everybody on the coast who's paying.
Where was the suit filed?
Galveston. It was Galveston residents because
take
barrel really hit them, and we didn't have the barrel. But I just
Gotcha.
want everybody to know. And, you know, I brought a note. I want you all to know this. I am going to go big time in connection with this issue, insurance, next session. So I want to give this information to everybody that is out there because I want everybody seeing what the notes are showing. So right now, this week, Rice University just put out this week, Rice University said Texas homeowner insurance premiums surged 74% from 2009 to 2024. 74%. And they are predicting, Dale, 2/3, 64% of Texas households will be knocked out of the medium price homeowners market.
Wow.
It's time for blatant insurance.
Sounds like the lobby. We need the lobbyists, the insurance. Somebody needs to push back on the insurance lobby.
Big time. And the deal is, everybody that's listening, Port Aransas, Padre Island, Flower Bluff, all the coast, we've been raked over the coals, discriminated against. Now everybody's starting to see it. That's why we're getting help.
The shoe's pinching the whole state, and it's starting to scream.
You better believe it. Now, my view is I stop the rate hike, I'm going to go into the legislature asking for a rebate.
Thank you,
Yeah.
because even though there was no rate hike, I wrote my check the other day and compared it. It went up
More.
$70.
Absolutely.
I'm like, well, if there was no rate hike, how did it go up?
Well, the rate hike hits you, you know, they don't really put everything into effect till 2027. And they're using an inflation deal. It doesn't matter. If we're right,
It's the size of the check.
that's right.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
time
I mean,
to
come on, it
send
went up.
the money back. We sent money back on property tax. We can
Yes.
send it back
Yeah.
on
The large print doth give it, the small print doth take it away.
It's no new taxes. We're just raising
You
the
bet.
old ones.
And remember, property taxes, which I'm going to be helping you big. I always love, we're going to help you on property tax. We jack your appraisal up so you get nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're going to fix that. But what I want you to know is our area has been designated where the windstorm insurance costs more than our property tax.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
That's
we're going
fair.
to, those are my two big issues. But I know
Well,
you
thi-
all wanted me here.
Well, this week, so we've had in the news has been the wrecks on
Terrible.
State Highway 361. We've all been hearing horror stories. It's picked up since the COVID year and hasn't really let up. So as of yesterday, there was we'll call it a 361 powwow, where you got everybody in the same room. You got all the legislative delegation. You got one of the TxDOT commissioners.
Correct.
And the topic was what to do in the short term. Where do we stand?
All right, let me tell you exactly what happened. So you have it. And you're the first live group that I've talked to on, media. But I want everybody listening to know, look, we've all been around this area. It's time to stop talking, studying 361. It's now time for action. And, the last couple of weeks are awful. We've had terrible casualties.
Yeah.
And then Houston Chronicle, I think it was Houston Chronicle, came out, called us the scariest highway. Well, that's not good for travel tourism.
We got out from under the water cloud. Now we're heading in.
My gosh. So
we got the death strip.
What I did is I said, enough's enough. So last Friday, I contacted TxDOT and the Highway Patrol, DPS.
Okay. Right.
And I said, we've got to have a meeting. The first meeting is like we regularly do in the Capitol. And Dale, you're familiar with this. We have the delegation, which are 4. That's Senator Chuy Hinojosa, Senator Adam Hinojosa, Representative Denise Villalobos, myself, their staff. We met with TxDOT representatives and DPS, Texas Department of Public Safety.
They've been putting troopers out. I've been
And
here the
they
last couple of
started
weeks.
before the meeting. They've been great.
They've had a presence. I've seen them.
And I want everybody to know I did that so we could start this process. So we did that yesterday. Number one, very positive. I did not have anybody on there, that said it's time to slow. Everybody.
So it's on the TxDOT radar.
It is big time on the radar. And as you said, Alex Mead, one of the 5 commissioners, participated, who's from South Texas, and he stood with me the whole time. So here's what I know is going to happen. Number one, as you said, DPS is already out there. You saw the presence on the Harbor Bridge for so long.
Right.
We're going to increase the
Well,
presence.
they're showing the flag, and the constables have been out north of the county line as well.
Our
Or
local
north of
and
the city
state.
limit.
One of the things that we've seen from this, and we've looked at the traffic crash analysis heat map and all the details of it up and down, and it's not just isolated to one thing. This isn't just weekend partiers. This is people not paying attention. There's no Jersey barriers, cross oncoming traffic wrecks, and the whole thing is, given the nature of a 2-lane road, your risk of serious injury goes way up with any incident, whether it be a
High impact.
Yeah, exactly, because it's just your.
Well, we've
bigger
seen
speed.
since Harvey that a lot of the people that are doing construction work live in Flower Bluff or Ranges Pass. They're going up and down that road every day.
Right.
So,
Well,
so you,
let me just, you guys are being nice. Texas needs to focus on our area.
Right.
Look at Port Aransas to Padre Island. The growth is huge. The economics. We're the generator of this area.
Yeah.
I don't need North Texas getting all the money. It
Well,
needs to be start coming down
And
here.
one
And by
thing-
the way, they're here.
One thing that Dale keeps saying is that they basically looked at 361 and said, well, we'll build the church for Sunday or Easter
That's
Sunday.
right.
Yeah.
And now we've got sustained traffic every weekend all through summer into fall and into winter now.
Look, it's Sunday mornings.
It's been-
It looks like
Yeah.
downtown
Yeah.
Austin.
Right.
It's
yeah.
been long enough.
So
So
you
as
start.
100% agree.
Can you start with Jersey barriers?
Yeah,
You said
look-
speed limit.
Let me do this. Let me give you
Speed
the
limit.
outline of what
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
talked.
Yeah. And it's in the mood, too.
But I want you all to know,
Parts of it.
this is going to be my new TWIA. We are going to fire this thing up. So DPS agreed. They've been great. You are going to see increased monitoring, counting. They're watching. They're going to regulate what's going on out there. I have lots of faith in our law enforcement. 2, TxDOT, this is the plan. Number 1, what they're developing is a short-term, long-term, because they're 2 different concepts where you can combine. I just want to move it and quit talking years. Let's
Yeah.
talk months.
Yeah.
That's what we need to be talking. Number 1, which we've talked about on this show, is we agreed I'm going to the legislature to get complete funding for lighting of 361. That helps us in the evening, no matter what the condition. So I will do that. And then when we get back from break, since you've given me the circle, I'll give you the rest of the plan.
Well,
Yes.
wait, right.
More from Todd Hunter when we return. Hold fast. Island Moon Live. We'll be back.
Mansfield cut to St. Joe. The 3-6 runners with the 830. Baffin Bay out to Rockport. Surfside to Galveston. On Texas Island Country. 361.
To your community.
And I think they all feel that legally they have it. I actually have been reached out by LCRA, who has an impact. They said they're here to help.
Well, Jay says they got a right of way.
They have easements, and I looked into that this morning. So the LCRA is on private property. The TxDOT right-of-way itself is only 130 feet side to side. So TxDOT, who is the ultimate owner of 361, will have to go procure easements all the way along through there. They can't just go to one entity, LCRA. That would be too easy.
But at least they reached out, LCRA.
Okay,
and
yeah.
say they're ready to help.
Good.
So we've got it started.
Okay, so maybe LCRA would be willing to give up part of their easement that they're buying from private property or leasing for private property. So that's just another person in the room, but that makes things a lot easier.
Well, are
when
the
you're talking
bar
about
ditches
15.
still wetlands?
Yeah, some of them are, but the rules may have changed since the last time the PELR was
Okay,
done.
before we get too crazy, are you ready to get back into it?
Oh, yeah.
11 minutes
Yeah. Can you hit rewind on that?
coming at you.
Well,
Yes,
that's
exactly.
good. Yep.
Everything you guys just said,
Say it again.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
All right, here we go. And we return. Welcome back to Island Moon Live. My name is Jacob Oggs. We've got Frank Floyd, Dale Rankin, Tyler Thorson, Jay Gardner, and our special guest, Todd Hunter.
We're joined by Scout, the radio, visiting
yes.
radio dog today, too.
We have a radio dog today, which is really kind of nice. Given the fact that everything got very serious very quickly, Mr. Hunter.
Even on the break.
Yeah.
I know, right?
So you got law enforcement first, then in the short term.
So here's
Lighting.
kind of the outline, because I want
Lighting.
you all to
Yeah.
know. One of my biggest concerns is nobody involves our public. So they go out there with these grandiose plans. It's sometimes good to talk to people who pay for it, drive it, and are there.
Yeah.
So I've asked TxDOT to set up a 2-week window ASAP. And the idea is a portal or a communication location where everybody for 2 weeks can send in ideas, complaints, everything. Then what I'm going to do is ask them, which we have, is to do like one of the open houses they did on the Second Causeway,
Yeah.
where they go put their maps on the short term and the long term. Now, I'm not talking a year from now. I'm talking about
Yeah.
ASAP. That will allow the public a second chance to get their input in and to let TxDOT know exactly what's practical and not. Then my view is let's get moving on the short term. The other thing, Dale, for you, I have a mandated weekly meeting with DPS and TxDOT with the legislators so we can have an update exactly on this.
Will we be able to sit in on those or see?
My
them
view is
on
it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, that one's fine. It's everything I'm hearing, you're hearing. So we're just going to do it. It probably won't be long.
Right.
It's just an update, and then it gives everybody to give me information and the delegation
Yeah.
to get in there. But everybody's impact.
Well, one of the things mentioned is reduce speed limit.
Absolutely. And that is being looked at. DPS is looking at it, and the TxDOT brought that up. They're also going to do the lighted mini signs, which you see the lights if you're going over the
right.
speed limit. But yes, they're looking at
Okay.
reduced speed limits and the control signs that tell you you're going above,
Right.
or you're going below. But that is going to be with DPS overseeing.
So 60 to 50. I mean,
I
that's,
think
that's
that's-
kind of really what
that's
we're
what
talking
it's being
about.
looked at.
It's not hugely popular, but if it increases safety, it's got to be done. And that's signs. That's just signage.
Yeah. Well, and that's
Unbolt
also
the old ones and put the new ones
that's
up.
what can be done right now. Dale posted an anticipated timeline of the project, which goes back to 2023, and talking about public meetings and all this. You're just kicking this timeline
we are
way up
reducing the
because estimated
Good.
beginning construction, according to the old timeline, was 2030.
Let me
Yeah,
help you. And
coming
that,
soon in 2019.
that wasn't taken well at all in
Yeah.
the meeting.
Yeah, but this is something we've talked about, especially
Big
with you, and
time.
especially on this show. And you know, I'm glad it's finally getting addressed, and it sounds like we've got getting some adults in the room and people that can actually make something happen. So if people are looking to submit their ideas or opinions on this, how do they find the forums? Where do they go?
It's my understanding, I think tomorrow, and I'll get confirmation later today, TxDOT is going to send out a memo
Okay.
on the process.
Okay.
And I want I want you to inundate them with every idea there is. And then, as soon as that process is over, we will ask that they do pretty soon thereafter one of those meeting
Yeah.
where you come and you can visit with the groups.
Yes.
So this
Yeah.
is to happen in the short term.
So if you're waiting on 6 Farfield studies, this is
No.
not that kind of program.
no.
Keep
They're
it
not
simple.
No more studies.
Well,
We
ultimately,
study.
the solution, I'm assuming, is I'm no traffic engineer, is going to be more lanes.
I agree.
And that's not going to
I
happen
agree.
tomorrow. So you start that process. There's some issues with the bar ditches being wetlands, and then of course there's funding.
Right.
And so you'll have a design period. Although there was a couple of public hearings before. That's kind of far down the road. There was issues with the bar ditches being wetlands. What
Right.
about funding? That's going to be the issue. Are we going to see something out of the upcoming session?
I
of the
think that's where we're
legislature?
going. My view is we're not going to be waiting around for some funding to appear. Let's just go in.
How
I'm
much
going to
you think
ask for the
it'll
lighting.
cost?
Let's get this
How
361.
much do you think it would cost to make it 4-lane all the way up?
I
know?
do not know, but my attitude, if we save lives, that's worth it.
Yeah.
Right.
It shouldn't be $1. It should be the people. And by the way, that road is being used by everybody in Texas and outside
Sure.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's worth it. And we are now an economic indicator for the state. So let's not look at money, let's look at safety. But I will tell you, the whole view yesterday was positive. Even Alex Mead said he would stand up with me. We do need, and I think Denise Villalobos is going to set up a meeting for the delegation and some of us to go to MPO because they need to be included.
Absolutely.
You know, into this.
They
Yes.
can get some federal money.
Absolutely.
Well, and Robert McDonald from the local MPO, he has been a big proponent
Big
of
time.
361 for a long time.
So we're going to do this.
He's on it.
What about
But
putting
the main
up,
thing you all bring up? We're talking right now, but this is action talk.
Yes.
And I know we're going to have people say, "Oh, we've heard this."
once
No,
you get a body
haven't.
count, things change.
Well,
So-
and the other thing that's bothered me is Sunday mornings. You go out
Sure.
there at Padre Island.
Good grief.
I mean, it looks awful. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, downtown Austin.
Yeah.
Well, I would hope that as part of this planning process, they'll look at the Commodore's intersection because that's the pinch point.
It's a
And it,
bottleneck,
and,
yeah.
it, and it pinched me going back this way.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it was a Saturday, and I was just going. I was my little self in my little brand new to me used truck, and I was going to Bob Paul Pier, and I got
T-bone.
T-bone.
Yeah, T-bone. So-
totaled my car.
So we need to also reduce as we go over the bridge all the way to Whitecap. At least that probably needs to come down to 45 as well. With those blind turns at Jackfish.
we talked about
Yeah.
this. We talked about this last night, and this was something that we've kind of discussed on the show. The light that's at Aquarius, as soon as you get over the bridge on the island, should have been at Vertimar, but it wasn't
Absolutely.
because of different development issues. That guess what didn't develop. So, do you think there's going to be a light at Vertimar as well?
There needs to be some
Is that
kind of,
coming
'cause
in?
It's a blind corner.
I think
so
you
we
got
need to
I think
reduce
you
the
got to
speed
study
limit.
everything from the base of the JFK.
It's already been done.
100%.
It's already been
because
done.
it's all interrelated.
Yeah, it's already been done.
This is why I've set this program up because we need to get this information in. Because again, we don't need any studies.
With this, it's
Yeah.
We
already
need
been
to get
done.
the input
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get
All
it
we need
done.
is to
We have the
observe.
numbers.
The study's been
Yes.
done 5 years ago.
Yes.
You can get on your phone, look at Google Maps on a Sunday, and know that there's a lot of people there. Okay, Like-
Greg Smith went out a few years ago at on the Sunday morning and counted the cars, and I believe it was 1,100 cars
Big
an
time.
hour going through there because everybody's at checkout time on the move. Can you use
Stats are there.
Jersey barriers, the concrete median barriers? I know you've got a lot of entryways on driveways through there, but there are certain areas. What I'm hearing from people that are driving is some of them are just people not paying attention. Somebody's on their phone, there's a rear
Right.
ender. But a lot of them are where they're people are in a passing lane, they don't know the area, and they
Trying to
think
cut across.
They
Yes.
think it's going to keep going.
Going.
All of a sudden they're in oncoming traffic.
Or you get bumped and knocked over.
So
Yeah.
Jersey,
You-
so
how
our
do you-
Jersey-
how do you-
was that
how do you-
something you discussed?
Yes,
You-
that was brought up in the meeting. They used 2 or 3 different concepts on the barriers.
Yeah.
But I think what we've got is the long-term plan, like you said, widening.
Yeah.
At the short term, I want to make sure Island, Port Aransas in particular, because if you're going to do barriers, let's put them at the right place.
Right.
So you're not blocking people 2
Yeah.
miles and causing
Right.
a whole nother traffic jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the idea for giving everybody input. But yes, the barriers were taught,
Well-
and 2 to 3 different types were mentioned.
And the problem with Jersey barriers is it's like planting palm trees right next to the road. You're putting something hard in the road.
Right.
So are you really actually going to stop head-on collisions?
Well,
Maybe
we had
not. You may get Bo and Luke Dukes over there.
we had
jumping the
we had a
barriers.
similar situation right here back in the 70s on this causeway, high impact head-on collisions, and they put the Jersey barriers up, but there's only one entrance. When you're going
Right.
to
So
Port
once
A-
you're on,
Right.
you're on.
When you're going to Port A, you get that a lot where people are coming out of Port Aransas, and you can tell they're from out of town, and they're doing the brake, and they're going 40 miles an hour because all the entrances
Looks the same.
Look the same. So you got all of that stuff to consider.
Signage.
Yeah,
There you go. That's
I-
a good idea. Signage.
I would start with the construction people that are driving that road every day. They're the ones that they know what's going on.
Big time.
They know where they're
and
going.
we got to also talk with our developments there, like the Cinnamon Shores.
Yeah. You're probably going to need lights, right?
Yeah, we are. They're looking at what they do spring break and some
Yep.
of the crossover lights. All this is being looked at in the temporary, but eventually you're going to be, as I said, you're going to have a new concept
Yeah.
on 361.
One thing I've learned about traffic engineering, it's like water hydrology engineering. It's often counterintuitive. You look at a traffic at an intersection, think, well, it'd be simple, just change that lane, and it'll have the exact opposite effect.
That's right.
You really have to talk to people that know what they're doing, that can model it.
Well, one thing that I thought was interesting was the city of Corpus, despite their best efforts to get things wrong, actually got it right with a meeting with ISAC and the Island Mobility Plan. And they had lanes and everything. They had things taped out from the wall showing how the size of
Yeah.
the bike lanes could be or different options.
And that's
they
just
had the
paint.
public in there. They had people from
Yeah.
the city sitting down with maps. And people
Yeah.
from the public and other engineering companies were actually sitting down talking to them about, well, you can do this here, but here's why you can't. Here's why this won't work. You know, and
Well,
you
that
actually
plan
had
is on the books.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Island Mobility Plan is approved, and there's Jay, $17 million, and
Yes, from the MPO, Todd, actually, that should be let this next year.
Good.
So hopefully the planning is going, the city of Corpus Christi needs to be the sponsor on that, along with TxDOT, to get that done.
so that's probably the city's role.
All right. Speaking
Yeah.
of when we return, the city, different roles, and what was actually going to be done. Island Moon Live will return. Hold fast.
As red as a lobster. I can't say I've ever been attacked by a shark, but I sure got nailed by the jetty monster. Padre Island on my
Cinnamon Shores. Boom.
Because
1
you
mile
see
ahead.
that all the time. You're driving, and some guy's going 40 miles an hour, taps
Yeah,
his
'cause-
brake,
Condo is in
and
which
finally
Right,
turns
because
at the
Cinnamon
third
Shores,
driveway.
both of them look the same. And it's like,
Exactly.
and you're like,
Yeah.
and I have friends that own condos there, and I'm going, oh, this is the south one. It's the new one.
Yeah.
Seagull, Sandpiper, yeah.
Try driving a Eurotech trailer there.
Oh yeah. Oh, I saw an 18-wheeler two days ago or so. I saw an 18-wheeler backed up across the middle of 361, getting a man lift into Cinnamon Shores.
Yeah.
Well, they've talked about putting a light there. At,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your high density
Correct.
developments need bigger signage.
I think if you drop the speed limit and put a
60
couple
to
of
50.
lights,
I
that's.
think that's in the plan.
But then you just got the problem with Bubba getting in the middle lane going 85.
That's why you have DPS. I've asked them.
yeah. You get a couple of tickets in the mail, then you're going to
Once they start, because we've got the guys that are on all this I've dealt with before, this group.
Yeah.
They know exactly, and they've seen it in Harbor. They're coming right in this. This is a good stretch.
I was living in San Antonio when 1604 hit, the death
Oh,
loop.
man.
We had
Oh,
we had 4
man.
fatalities and 14 people
Man.
hurt in a wreck in one day.
Yeah.
And they're still building, and that was 30 years ago.
Yeah. They're still
But these
behind.
these TxDOT projects typically are 15-year
You know,
horizon.
in Houston, my brother-in-law is a traffic engineer, and he says, you know, when they started designing this 20 years ago and building at 10, it was already behind the traffic capacity. And
Well,
so,
I just hope
how do
that
you-
when we do in 361, it moves the mobility study
Yes.
here to the JFK
Yes.
because it needs to it's all
All
interrelated.
connected.
It needs to be all done
I'll
at
push
once.
for that.
All right.
Yeah,
And that
absolutely.
intersection, I drive through there at Commodore's, it just kills me. The traffic is backed up on Sunday morning because there's only one turn lane.
Yeah, and you got 3 cars on this side.
All right.
Tripping the lights.
Segment 2. Y'all ready?
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, say all that again.
Right. Everything you just said, do it again.
Stop doing breaks.
Yes. Why, right?
Yeah, right.
It's just one long sentence.
Yeah.
Stream of consciousness radio. And we return to Island Moon Live. It's another beautiful day down here at the base of the JFK Causeway that you can drive over safely thanks to the Jersey barriers. And if you need any other safety equipment, or, say you want those custom safety jackets for your team or your business, you need to go talk to Ted at Impact Marketing. He's right there off of 423 Schatzel Street downtown. They've got a little showroom there. He can show you everything that they do. Screen printing, embroidery, hats, coolers, technology, man, you name it, they've got it and more. All of that personalized with your business logo. You got a team building exercise. You want to make a deck of cards with your brother-in-law's picture on it. You name it. Go to impactmarketingcc.com. You can see everything that they have, all the work they do. Go visit Ted. He is Corpus Christi's premier promotional products purveyor, and let him know you heard about it on Island Moon Live. We've got an awesome show going on. Things are getting done around here. We're actually talking with one of the men who can get it done. We've got our rep, Todd Hunter, here. We've got Tyler Thorson, Jay Gardner, Frank Floyd, Dale Rankin, and my name is Jacob Oggs. I am now going to stop talking.
Yes.
Well, I
Back
want to get back to what we were talking about in the break, Todd.
We should have taped the break.
We've
on
had
the-
the-
It is. It's on Island Moon Live.
The island mobility study has been passed by the city. It's partially funded. It's on the books.
MPOs jumping in on that. Yes,
So
exactly.
So hopefully, all of this can be put into the same ball of wax, including the improvements under the JFK Bridge,
Right.
which have been hanging fire for a while.
Yes, and I brought you a copy of the memorandum of, or what is this, the multiple use agreement?
Oh, that's for the improvements under the
Right.
JFK.
That was signed in 1979. It's
Yeah.
still good. It's being updated for Muddle and Puddle. So if anybody says we don't have any of the studies done, the paperwork done, the agreements done, it's all done.
Okay, Todd, you can answer this for me, or at least point me in
You've
the
been
direction.
looking at this
of
for a few years.
They had to do 3 studies underneath the bridge to decide if it was or wasn't a wetland. 1, who cares? And 2, why does it take so long to do all this?
The core permits.
You just answered
It's
your own
question.
rhetoric.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
core permits seem to be the
The
where
bottom
things get
line,
stuck.
we have let government become so red tape, we're not common sense.
Said by the man himself.
That's exactly, in my view, that's why on 361, we're not going to do that anymore. It's time. Let's get moving. And that's now what I'm going to do. I was at a deal yesterday talking to some people, and we've forgotten one segment who's concerned about this situation. Those are all of you who had to sit for 4 hours. 4 hours not getting rerouted.
Yeah.
So not only do we have fatalities, accidents, we're creating a congestion monster out there.
And
And
I
it
was
needs
driving
to be
to I was,
fixed.
I was
Yeah.
driving to Port Aransas Sunday
Jeez.
before last, and a guy's pickup truck broke down in the southbound lane on 361 about Fish Pass. Traffic was backed up all the way into the city limits of Port Aransas. 'Cause
Yeah.
one guy's alternator went out when he was driving home.
Jeez.
And that's what we're dealing with. And you're right. I don't know how you reroute it. Assuming that we can get some funding out of this session, Todd, what kind of a timeline are we looking at before you see lane additions or something that's structurally?
So on the permanent, I can't tell. It's not going to be 2030. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
The timeline on the permanent, we're going to have to get this input in, and like you said, we've got to go to make sure we have all the buckets checked on the funds.
Yeah.
Sure.
But my view is we're not waiting, we're not studying. We just get that thing done. On the temporary, my view is why are we waiting?
Yeah.
Let's just start making the modifications.
Speed
But
limit.
I want to make sure you all, and I'm talking about you all as the people who use it, have some input, because I don't want them to do something and then they create more congestion.
Right.
But my view is I don't know yet a timeline, but we should know pretty soon. We've been pushing them. We're not waiting years on this.
Right.
This should be
Well,
done in months.
Yes.
I assume that there's a TxDOT process to fast track something.
There is, and they have emergency funding
they
that
do.
they can go do
Yes.
that. They could.
And
they
that
could
was
go,
raised in the meeting.
They could
too.
go stripe it and pull the signs. The sticks are already there. The concrete's in the ground. Unbolt
Yeah.
the speed limit sign that says 60
Yeah.
and put up one that says 50.
If you're going to start
Minutes.
if you're going to start dropping the speed limit,
Do what?
You got to study that.
Oh, yeah.
if you're going to start dropping the speed limit on 361, let's start construction as well.
Exactly. Well, what I can tell everybody is, what I heard yesterday, there on the temporary side, you're going to start seeing the speed issue, the increased law enforcement, the signage, and I do think you guys have brought up a pretty good point about signage in and out off the roadway, which would help. So I think you're going to see a slowing down control. But then I think they're looking at the barrier issue.
Yeah.
What can you do in the temporary? Where do you place it? Where do you do the
That's going to
crossover?
be the ticklish part because
Right.
that'll stop the head-on collisions. And
That, I think,
it would
will
be
be
nice
sooner.
to have. It would be nice to have a daily traffic count.
They have it.
and an average speed that we can look at.
They have those studies. They've already been done.
It's the ones I've seen are annual. It would
Right.
be nice. I would like to publish in the Moon a weekly traffic count. How much traffic went by each
Yeah, I
day
don't
and
know
what
if you
the
can get that
average
from
speed was.
TxDOT, so-
And I'm assuming TxDOT can monitor all that stuff.
Right.
very
My
easily.
concern is this sounds a lot like the work they're doing on Yorktown, and it's awfully hard to have continued traffic on something that's that narrow and then work on building a new road. So
Right, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
it's-
it gets mixed up. And one other thing about the Jersey barriers, if you start putting those things up, go look at all the guardrails in Flower Bluff along Laguna Shores. They put them up and they last a week and they get smashed. And those are guardrails meant to take a hit. So you put up hard things in the middle of the road. Those are on the side of the
No,
road.
you get a lot of tire marks on those. But it
Exactly.
sounds like, Todd, that
Smart.
this process has been on the
That's right.
bureaucratic side, and it's now moved to the political side.
It is, and it should be. And it's unfortunate, but the good thing is it has. And so it's up to us to keep them in the lane moving. No more studies. Get going. We've studied this. I've been here since 1978.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
need any more studies.
Well, I know there was a study
Do.
done on the
Yeah.
bar ditches. I remember that. That was a few years ago. So typically the next stage would be design.
Yes.
So that's kind of it sounds
Well,
like where we are.
and that's one of the things about costs that we were talking about in one of the breaks. Even if those bar ditches are jurisdictional, hopefully you can work with the LCRA and just literally
Yes.
move them
Yes.
out. Just move them out. And so that's absolutely fine, because if you have to put culverts over those things, then your price goes astronomical. So just move those bar ditches out.
So we're looking at a 2 to 3 year timeline before
Well,
we probably
hopefully-
we get stuff done in the middle, and then by 2 years out we'll maybe start seeing some land.
I think, well, my view is to expedite it even quicker than that. So I just let you all know. To me, that's talking years.
Yeah.
How many lives do we have to worry about?
Yeah.
My view, the temporary needs to be months. The temporary change needs to hurry up.
Well, we're coming into our winter season, right?
Which is
when
the time to
traffic
do
is
the
lighter
work.
on
That is
361.
correct.
If you start moving now, and we go at actual, not speed of government, but the speed of what needs to happen, we're talking
Yes.
about being able to make a positive impact for next summer.
Exactly. And I think that is practical.
That's
Yeah.
realistic.
That's how we should be doing this. But this 2030 deal,
Yeah.
give me a break.
And that was based on annual traffic numbers, I think. I
That
looked
was
through the
based
study.
on
and we got a
nobody
bunch
paying attention till now.
Right, yeah.
we got a bunch of
Exactly,
cars
yeah.
on one day and
Jeez,
not so
yeah.
many cars
So
the next
you,
day.
you mentioned
Right.
bumping this up into the kind of upper chain of TxDOT's list of let's get this done now. Not that they're short on projects. I know they've got tons of stuff going on, but who's the person in control of TxDOT that says, this is how we're doing it, let's move this now, get the state funding? Like, who is it, a
I
board
think
of
that
people?
commissioner that was in the
Who's
meeting would be one
Well,
of those guys, right?
And I'm going to compliment, the commissioner didn't have to be there, and he thought this was that important. He's from Mission, South Texas. We got somebody that's supportive. He's supportive. So we've got one of the 5 that's here to try to expedite. Even he said it's time to get moving on it.
Yeah.
So we had a meeting that kick-started this in the right direction. You got to, as you all know, though, I've got to keep lighting the ignition here.
Every
Yeah.
Friday
So
it sounds
that's
like.
exactly
Yeah,
because
right,
there'll
yeah.
be somebody else has. But no, we keep it moving. You hit it. It's right now the best time. And there is no reason why between now and next summer you can't see improvements.
There you go.
Right. Or I'd even think of a couple of months because I think there's about 20 signs, speed limit signs, in between here and Port Aransas. They have a warehouse that has those signs right now and guys that can go screw them off and put them on. I know that TxDOT has their emergency measures, and I'm just wondering how long or how much public input is required before they can just go drop the speed limit.
Well-
so that process, that's probably where it needs to be pinched.
I think the safety emergency is together on the speed limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you got to remember it's temporary and you're using it for a temporary set of time. So to me, the speed limit does need to be looked at. I mean, if you get into a 50, you have the flashing lights, you also have some crossover and you have increased DPS presence. I think you can get your arms around a lot of the safety issues. May not solve everything, but you can get it so we can get the temporary plan. But
Okay.
we need to talk months,
Yes.
not years.
Well,
Right.
you tell people you're driving down the island, for crying out loud. Slow down and enjoy the view. You don't
Right.
need to go
Yeah.
80 miles an hour.
It's a gorgeous
You're
ride.
not on the Katy Freeway.
Yeah, I know,
Exactly
right?
right.
Jeez.
Well,
I spent way too much time on the Katy Freeway lately.
We're going into months, not years, here with Todd Hunter. When we return, we're going to get some a few other projects and a few other things all lined out. Everybody, hold fast. We shall return.
Oh, don't forget about the West Coast. Out of El Paso, 915. They're still alive out there. All these Texas area codes.
Adam Hinojosa, Denise, and
Yes.
our commissioner. No, it was, let's get it funded and get it now.
They're hearing the same
Yeah.
stuff we all are.
Yes.
That's,
And they also know, look, they've delayed this too long.
Port Aransas is the goose that laid the golden egg.
But
You
so's
don't want
Padre
to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole deal all the way to JFK.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just Port A, it's Padre. I mean, everybody's in this, and we've talked about this for years. I look at us as the economic generator of this area.
Yeah.
That area.
And we're also the canary in the coal mine for.
Yes.
We're seeing stacking on 361 this year. SPID turning on
Yes.
the white cap that we've never seen before.
Gosh. And TxDOT actually did pretty good and backed those turn lanes up from Commodores and allowed the double
We
stacking.
used to not see it in the week,
They-
and now
that was
it's
helpful.
on the Sundays.
Going that
There's
way.
more people going to the seawall area.
Yeah.
It's just we just have more traffic.
Now, I do need, and I'm going to put this out when we go on, where you all can help. I need you all behind us, and I want loudness because agencies listen to
Right.
the public.
And I was going to bring that up. So everybody at this table needs to log in and turn in their comments.
Exactly.
So-
I want to go overboard.
Excellent. Okay. Well, here we're
Yeah, let's jump in.
I had
segment 3. Let's get on back.
I had a late friend yesterday got run off the road from behind by a bee bus.
Oh,
And I said, well, the good news is only one person will be hurt because there's nobody on the scene but the driver.
Was it the trolley?
the bee trolley.
Giving her the horn and on the bee bus.
I got to make the next stop here. People are waiting.
Just move it. And welcome back aboard. This is Island Moon Live. We are here at our Docks Waterline Studios, just hanging out, looking good. And if you need to get into a new vehicle that makes you look good, you need to go talk to Frank at Discount Motor Company. He's right there off of 6601 SPID, right between Turner's and the movie theater. You need to go talk to Frank the Bank. He wants to buy that old car or truck. Get rid of that old thing. If you're looking for any fleet vehicles, if you're looking for that F-250 diesel, maybe a four-wheel drive, if you need some vans or trucks, anything, go talk to Frank the Bank at Discount Motor Company. They're right there. Just go to discountmotorcompany.com. You can see their active inventory. Frank wants to buy your car, and he'll pay you more than the big box store across the street. Tell him that you heard about it and that we were making noise on Island Moon Live. And speaking of making noise, we've got Tyler Thorson, Jay Gardner, Representative Todd Hunter, Frank Floyd, Dale Rankin. My name is Jacob Boggs. And Mr. Hunter, you were talking about encouraging people to make
Yes.
noise during
Yes.
the break. What is it they can do, and who they need to talk to, and what do they need to say?
again, everybody listening, we should have taped the brakes on this whole program.
Well, we do technically.
We do. They're going out on YouTube.
I'm telling you. But the bottom line is this. Look, just like Tuia, Padre Island, Port Aransas, Flower Bluff, all our area, stood with me. We were unified on pushing. It means everything in Austin. We'll have people to say, well, this isn't going to happen, or we'll have some, this is a better. Look, that's fine. But right now, we got everybody's attention. We're on a temporary and permanent. I need the support to say, no more studies.
No more.
It is time to talk months, not years, and let's get the pedal to the metal to get this done. And then when this portal comes open or their process, I want you to inundate TxDOT with your ideas. Because if they see the attention, they see the concern. What I don't want, and you all know, is we have it and then everything goes calm for 60 days.
Yeah.
And
And
everybody,
somebody else-
it's all...
Until we have more wrecks.
Until they have more wrecks,
No.
somebody else dies.
So that would help me,
Oh.
but we'll get this thing kicked
I'll
off
get
soon.
I'll get all that information out on the Island Moon
Absolutely.
Facebook, the Island Moon newspaper, and also on my website and in the Moon. So get people moving. If it doesn't sound like this requires legislative action, this is going to be more on the administrative side.
Let me add to that. If it isn't, it will be legislative action. So we're going to have a backup.
Yes, good.
So
I'm going in January.
So you're going in ready to go. So we got the Attack of the Grackles over here.
Yes, exactly.
They're coming on the next show.
Sweet and low. Sweet and low.
And so just so people understand how this works and what really happens, a lot of times they'll review all of the emails and all the input that they get from people, and to the number of words used, and even in the amount of times people use the words passing lanes, sidewalks, barriers, all that is analyzed and calculated. So if you
Right.
have that's how public comment works, right? Because these people
Right.
say, all right, we're beholden to the public. So if we get 800,000 people that say we want to put in bike lanes, then they say,
Yeah,
okay, this
right.
is what everybody wants. That's it.
So that's a good point. And Todd, we could use a little bit of instruction on that. Do you want people to comment on the short term and long term? That'll take them a lot
Yes.
longer. That'll take them a
Yes.
lot longer to weed through all those responses. But if they get 5,000 responses that say
Absolutely.
drop the speed
Yes.
limit,
Yes.
and that's
Yeah.
it, then that gets done.
Increased, presence by law
Okay,
enforcement.
so the 3 bullet points: increase law,
Speed limit.
drop the speed
I have
limit.
no problem with
and those-
strategic traffic lights.
And those speed
The-
indicators, right? Those speed
Correct.
indicators. Okay.
Those are big.
Those 3 things. Everybody put that. You heard it here on Island Moon.
So there was some data that we didn't really have room. I'm sure we'll publish this on the Island Moon Facebook page, but it was the breakdown of the there were 51 wrecks since
June
let's
of
say-
24.
Yeah,
July of 2024 to August.
That's too many.
and
Yeah.
the of various, I
Right.
guess,
Right.
degrees of unfortunateness, we'll call
So-
it. But a lot of them have been pretty bad. The thing that we're getting at here is, if we start lowering the speed limit and we start awareness of people kind of moving, that's not going to stop people from making mistakes, being distracted, or being dumb.
But it slows it down from a fatality
But-
to an injury.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's
60
yeah.
to 50
Yeah.
is...
That would make a big difference.
It makes
Yeah.
a big difference, and it makes it safe. And we all know when it's trafficked up and congestion,
you're not
you're
going
going below
50 yeah.
50.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
So-
one of the things, Dale, that you talked
Yeah.
about a lot. Is a lot of these accidents happen when people try to pass, right?
Or cut across traffic.
Well, so
Right.
Todd, as you're moving toward, we're talking about the legislature. How do you attack a problem like this as you're going into the legislative session? Does this involve sort of hearings, or do you just go straight to TxDOT? Does it require legislation? How do you go at
What's the
something
process?
like
Yeah.
this?
Well, between now and December, let's see how the agencies do. If they're working with us, then you're right. We just push the administrative side. Now, some of this is going to require funding that we will ask, like lighting.
that's on Todd's
and
side of the-
Yes,
of
that's
the-
my
Right,
area.
yeah.
But if all of a sudden, there's a slowdown, yeah, we will do something legislatively. Right now, I believe we got a positive, constructive message. Everybody wants to get this done. So we've got between now and January to get this going. But yeah, we always have.
So you
the
probably
back
try to
up.
tap into
well-
what Jay's talking about with the emergency fund at TxDOT.
Yes.
Right. So we're going to have to do something like that. And you brought up a good point. The agencies have all been asked to reduce their budgets by 3% across the state. So all of a sudden, everybody's going to be scrapping and fighting for some of these extra funds that TxDOT did not have projected out for that. So,
Well-
but then again, 60 mile an hour speed limits. They got a whole warehouse of those. They take the 60s down, put them up with 50s, and they still got a bunch of 60s.
My view, if you have any more accidents or deaths, the money should not be the issue.
Right.
Okay.
It should be
There you
sending
go.
the message, this is a place safe. I heard some of the comments from the public. I used to love coming to this area, and I'm scared to death of this roadway. That is not
We don't
the
need that.
message.
Yeah.
It's not the message. And
Yeah.
I want people, and you got to remember, I have grandchildren that go to school out in this area. And so my view is I got personal, not only as a state rep, but I got personal that I feel it. But it's pedal to the metal time.
Well, we're
Okay.
coming up on the winter Texan season, and they tend to slow the speed limit down anyway.
Right. So one of the things I just thought of, we were talking about signage, right? Could we use the state hotel occupancy tax? Could we use shot tax to get some of that signage up and call it advertising?
I don't, I
Might
just
help.
don't know what the issue, but we'll look.
Might help.
Well, absolutely.
Good idea.
It's gonna skirt
So,
things around.
so if we so ideally, Todd, you come out of the session on this issue, you come out with the funding for the intermediate, let's say, whatever that turns out to be.
Short term.
And maybe you add some lanes or lights or whatever that is, and then down the road you go full tilt.
Correct.
You go out
That
to
is
5
correct.
lanes and
The other deal is you got to remember, and we all know this, you do a temporary to make sure it works. You may have to modify that for the
Right.
permanent, and you don't want to get too stuck.
Right.
But it makes it safe, it's controlled, and the good thing is our area has input.
yeah. I just hope that we include the area
Yes.
from the JFK
Yes.
up to the turn
yeah.
at least
100% agree.
361.
100% agree.
Because that plan is there, and it's a good one. And the city staff has done a good job of coming up with the options and coming up with a plan. It's been stuck at the political level at City Hall.
Well, and we got to remember, Flower Bluff school system is big. That traffic jams all the way into Flower Bluff.
Yeah.
This whole region
Yeah.
is an economic indicator, a growth zone.
Yeah.
It deserves support.
They add houses in Mesquite, and we get more cars on 361.
That's it.
It's just the reality of
Well,
things.
a bunch of those Mesquite people are down here
Right.
too,
Yeah.
so let's get
Well,
the
there's-
help.
There's one thing that. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Oh,
Tyler.
you're backed up to Ennis Joslin a lot.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, and you go like, I
Yes.
can't even get to my house,
Well,
and it's like I don't.
There's one
on the
thing
south
that's
side.
always a common thread anytime we talk about Houston, Austin, or San Antonio down here, and that's traffic. People wanting to escape traffic. The last thing that I want is for this area to have one, that the reputation of traffic, and two, the actual traffic itself.
Exactly.
When you have to plan your day around traffic, isn't that kind
Yeah,
of why
spring-
a lot of people move to
That's
why
Corpus?
we're here.
Correct. Spring break, yeah.
You know, you hit it on the head.
OTB.
But the good
So-
thing is with us and getting the word out, I think we can shape this to a good goal, and that's the good thing. At least we're talking about it in August,
Yeah.
Right.
not next year.
So you got your homework. You got windstorm going on. Now you got 361. What else is on your plate for the January legislative session?
So let's take our coastal area. Particularly, I'm going to focus on Rockport, Fulton, Port Aransas, Padre Island, and Flower Bluff for a minute. The property tax system in the state
Yeah.
is dinosauric. It's outmoded. Doesn't make any sense. Why am I going to go say I'm giving you a property tax reduction, then jack your appraisal up 12 times?
Yeah.
You get nothing out of it.
Or we
It
get
doesn't
what we
work.
get out of our city council over the years is they claim they've lowered our taxes because they dropped our property tax rate, but by 4%, but our appraisals went up by 18.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And we keep writing bigger checks and wondering how we got it.
9.9% every year. That's
Yeah.
what I get it for.
I'll tell you what, when we return, we're going to take a
Todd,
quick break. When we return, we're going to find out how those checks start getting a little bit smaller. Island Moon Live. We'll be right back.
TGIP, it don't make no difference, it's the same to me. You're on an island time, bring your salt and lime and say.
Surplus cut school taxes.
Well, they've got themselves in kind of interesting situation. They're closing schools and building new,
Yeah.
and how do you justify?
Well, the school
By volume.
school board
That's exactly
yeah,
it.
school board members tend to have brother-in-laws in the construction business from time to time.
I've got an idea. Let me throw it out there, see if it sticks. Could you have some, say, well-heeled benefactor and naming rights, like the Memorial Highway between there, 361. I mean, it's
I don't
just,
know that HEB would want their name on a place that's had
HEB.
No, it'd be
fatal
the 4444444 highway.
The idea is good. The only reason I haven't brought up that naming, which you don't want to do, or the signs, is because you've had so many deaths.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
how about
worried.
the Thomas J. Henry?
Yeah.
Thomas J. Henry death loop.
Rename it. It's
But
not
I mean, the
361
idea, you're
anymore.
right, and eventually, I think that once we get control.
No, I got you. Yeah, it's be like,
Yeah.
like.
I mean, when I
understand.
saw that, I think it was the Chronicle that called it the scariest highway in Texas. And then the last thing we want to do is emphasize
Yeah.
those sorts. And that's,
Yeah.
but I think eventually you're right, and this stretch is adopted by and stuff like that.
Schecknider Way.
You're talking about the property taxes, Todd. You look at a lot of states, when you buy your house, that's your appraised value. You get a 3% in CPI or whatever it is. Then you eliminate all of the appraisal side of you get certainty.
Yeah,
And
I think one more segment.
The
right?
big states tend to do that.
Let him go,
A
Chrissy.
little after 12:45 is when I got to take
Okay,
them. to
where
the-
are we now?
We've
We're
got
at
about
40.
Yeah, we're fine.
But I think we're on our last segment.
10 minutes.
So we got 10 minutes.
That's fine.
Oh, he might have to bail at 5.
5.
We can. What do you want to
We're
jump
fine.
to?
10 minutes. is
Drop the
fine.
mic and just
What do you
walk
want to
away.
get to?
One more segment.
Yeah, we'll go into what you were talking about
Taxes?
on the
Okay.
session.
One more segment.
What Dale was saying is pretty correct.
Yes. Okay, Jacob, fire us
All
up.
right. Welcome aboard.
All right.
This is Island Moon Live yet again. I knew there was a pirate around here somewhere. So before we jumped off to the break, we've got State Rep Todd Hunter here at the table. Dale Rankin was mentioning property taxes, and
Well, it
and
sounds like that's going to be one of the focuses
Big
of
time.
this.
It'll be in the top 5 issues.
What
Yeah.
if it's a good session? Where will that land? What will happen?
It's hard to say. I can tell you this: you'll have the governor pushing one, the Senate's going to push one, the House kind of moderates with both. You're going to get an agreed upon plan. I think it's got to be a mixture of appraisals because some of the appraisal law doesn't make any sense. They're relying on language 30 years ago that doesn't apply.
Well,
here.
it's the whole system that we got came out of the Pivotal bill back in the late 70s, and the whole premise of that was that the property taxes are not levied fairly and equitably across the state. And I would make the argument that on the island, we don't get a fair and equitable shake because we have so much sales, we have constant comps.
Right.
And that
And they
tends to
just
push our numbers
ratchet.
artificially high. And it's almost like even when you talk to the people from the appraisal district who we've had on this show, they'll tell you that it needs the top to bottom overhaul.
I agree.
The whole process
agree.
needs to be taken apart and put back together.
I think that's where it's going to go. I think it'll be one of the. I'm almost positively in the top 5, and the whole process will be modernized. And I put this out for everybody to think. No decision, but give me your feedback. There is discussion to also relook at sales tax. So,
Okay.
when you talk tax, it brings in
Yeah.
all sorts.
What I hear from property owners here on the island, and Brian McCabe, who's the liaison for the appraisal district, wrote a column I ran in the Moon a couple of weeks ago. When your appraisal value goes up, the tax on that is immediate. But the value that you capture through your equity growth, you can't tap into
Correct.
until you sell the house. So you're being
Correct.
taxed on an asset you can't access.
Correct.
And that's a glitch in the system that is, you're going to have to take the whole system apart to address that.
And when you add to the property tax your insurance costs that I read to you at the top of the hour, and
Windstorm, all that
then,
good stuff.
you've got all these other cost issues. We got to bring the pocketbook back to reality, common sense. Everybody's not running around with bloated wallets and purses. It's time to be realistic. So my view is to cut the other one that we got to watch are utility bills.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your utility bill. When
Those
it
are
says
regulated.
electric charge, it says $400. You better look at the other part.
Look at
of
the
it.
surcharge.
That's
Yeah,
right, the
geez,
surcharge.
Louise.
Yeah.
Half
sir,
of it.
sir, you're being charged. So the tax system that we have now it kicked in the early 80s, and it allowed until about it was reformed in the legislature 2 or 3 sessions ago. governmental entities could raise taxes 8%
Right.
every year, and they
Right.
did.
They-
And the appraisals would come in at 7.9, and they would keep the tax rate constant and go, "We didn't raise your
we
taxes.
didn't raise your taxes,
Why am I
your
writing a bigger
appraisal."
check?"
Yeah,
And
right.
over you do the math, 8% over 10 years doubles your taxes.
It's
And
ridiculous.
It's the same thing the insurance companies do. Oh, I didn't raise your rate. I hit you with an inflation
Right.
factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get it when you get into the property tax system, it's complicated. But if you look at some other states, there's some simple solutions out there. It's kind of that way with windstorm.
Exactly.
Allow some
But
more
it's-
underwriters come in, and it'll be amazing.
But it's
how-
got to take place at such a large level.
and you got the lobbyists.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the lobbyists are keeping all these small movers down. If we get a big
Well-
move that happens up top, we can fix the problem.
Well, Weston came in a few years back, and they bought one of mine, and then all of a sudden they went away, and we went back to Tuia. What happened there?
No, they did the cherry pick, and it didn't work.
Oh, okay.
That's
Gotcha.
what it was. It was
That
a
was it.
cherry pick. That's when we went after them.
Yeah.
And they were picking and then it didn't work.
Okay.
It's a tip,
So what you want is multiple underwriters that
That's
create
right.
competition for the
That's correct.
and the rate system.
It's correct.
And we've not had that over the years because the lobby in Austin has been able, one way or another, to keep them out. I've seen that fight go on up there. If you go to the Brown Bar and it's a 3 Lexus session, and well, my rates are going up.
But that insurance, property tax, I can tell you, water. Because the water issue now is all over. We have our water woes. So does Hayes County. So
Yeah.
does
Oh, yeah.
It's all over. That's probably doubled. I get worried. We all worry about this, like the highway system or the water. Oh, it's better right now. No, you've got
Right.
a plan to never do this stuff.
Is there a state role in the
Yeah.
desal here?
I
I mean,
the
no,
states
but there's
for
been an offer
desal.
of funding.
Yeah, I think what they're going to. I think number one, we got to look at the water planning that the state did. I think they said 1997.
Right.
That was during
Yeah.
the time I was not there, but they came up with a water that probably needs to be modernized to today.
The Texas Water Development
Exactly.
Board, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think desal, we got to look at it. I mean, I was advocating for desalination, seawater, 20 years ago.
Yeah,
with the
a
Ortiz Center.
lot of people were.
Yeah.
So my view is that's an option. Where you put it is up to the local community.
And that's where we've been kind of stuck.
Right.
And
And-
hopefully some of the 47 candidates running for city council.
Jeez Louise.
Well, so getting into the closing of the show here, and I just want to tease something else that we're going to bring up and talk about in both the Moon and on Island Moon Live again. While we have Frank Floyd here, is with the raising of the beach parking pass rates, that money goes in for beach maintenance, right? So
It's going to raise another $2.5 million.
the question exactly. So the question is, Frank, with that $2.5 million going into the program where people are scraping sand into the sea, is there just going to be more scraping,
That's
or is
over
there
5 years.
Is there going to be?
What do we need to do?
So with that, one of the things that the user fee is going up for, Frank, I don't know if you're aware of this. Our beach maintenance people have been operating at a deficit every year, and the money is coming out of the SHOT fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that money could be going
So
someplace else.
900
we could
grand.
have less scraping.
No, same amount of scraping, but from a different fund.
So the question is, we're going to have somewhere around, with the increase and the 900,000, we're going to have somewhere around $3 million that we can place toward beach maintenance over the starting next year.
We can rust out
What do we need?
bulldozers and graders.
Right, exactly. Also, they're going to start a fund that will go in to match KEPRA for beach renourishment too. So we've got some eroding areas that we're going to have to go find sand. We may have to go offshore to mine sand. This is going on not only here, also in Galveston, also in City of South Padre, Cameron County. I've been watching all these plans go through and go up.
There's a ton of sand on the north side of Packard Channel.
That's
If
true.
anybody goes out there that doesn't understand what's happening, if you look at the jetties, you look at the handrail,
Yeah,
where the guardrail is,
yeah.
it's halfway sand out now.
No,
The guardrail was put at the water line.
No, absolutely.
I was
And-
there when they installed it.
So, and speaking of insulation, there was supposed to be a bypass system that went from the north side to the south
They
side.
put
Right.
that in. Didn't they put the pipe in?
I don't
think.
know. I haven't seen the.
I think they put the pipe in the ground and it just never never
now.
used
Well,
it.
there's been some beach stakeholder meetings I've gone to over the last couple of years, started by Dan Suckley a long time ago. And the beginning of that, they said, the city people, county the people involved said, yeah, one thing we're going to have to do at some point is get to the point where we can move all this sand that's accreted out on the jetties, move
Right.
that
Yeah.
to be some of our
we
sand.
have a system. We take it out of the Packery Channel, and we put it on the south side, and then the wind blows it in the channel, and we pump it out and put it on the north side.
Well, then they put the all the sand storage on Mount Padre on the north side.
They've been moving that. I've been watching the trucks.
They've been moving
that
it.
on the south side.
But
and then we get a
anytime
big flood.
we get a north wind or we get a swell,
Yeah.
it washes it or blows it into the channel.
Yeah.
So it's
And we're getting to the point
perpetual
where
motion
as
machine.
development starts on Lake Padre, you're going to have that channel's got to be maintenance dredged at 8 feet because you got to get those boats in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something we didn't touch on today is the opening of the canals on the island. That'll be a story for another day.
No, we
But
didn't-
it does
we
look
didn't
like
get
we
to half of
may
anything
be
on the list.
getting down finally to the point. There's a meeting of the POA board on Tuesday. We'll see what comes out of that. And I talked to Kaylin Paxson, our city council person this week. She said that the water flow measuring devices are in hand. So maybe once we get those in, we'll open the channel and we'll get the water flowing. We'll see how that goes. We'll be
Y'all
talking
take
about
care.
it next
Right.
week.
There's a lot to
Thank
do.
you for being here, Todd. This
Thank you
is
so
great.
much for being here, Todd. Appreciate it. You guys, go. Remember that once the thing comes open, we need to do presence, speed limit reduction, and speed
Speed limit signs.
speed
Or
limit
the
signs.
Absolutely.
Current speed limit signs.
Current speed limit signs.
Frank, thank you for joining us. Dale Rankin, Jake Gardner, Carly Smith, the meteorologist,
Yeah,
joined
yes.
us beginning of the show. Tyler, the
That-
pirate of
that-
Picanha.
That was a lot of
Thorson.
information, so you guys got a
Yeah.
really great show today.
My name is Jacob Boggs. We are glad you've joined us today, and in the meantime, keep it on Island Time.
Thank God it's Padre.
I'll get it fixed
God,
next
yeah.
time. We
We appreciate it.
we tend to divide the show
No, well.
11 to 12 and 12 to 1.
They got me
No, it
going
was
to
great.
Kingsville, and so they just changed the time. So it
Right. So
it turned out fine.
So Vicente was in Rivera this morning. I missed that one. He's announcing the $850,000 for the boat ramp down there out of one of his 15 projects, something like that.
Here's the way I look at it. I don't care who they are, but
We're off air
I
now.
always wait for federal money.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Start
I'm
there.
glad
Make
it's
them say
always
no.
allocated to how many?
Make them say no.
Talk to you always.
Good to see you guys.
I will.
right.
So.
And thank you to everybody watching on YouTube. We will see you on the next show.